winning kick of the game to the house. Handoff right for Robinson. He's got it, plus more. He's still going. Rashad Robinson, touchdown.
But that was one of the most incredible individual efforts I've seen in a long time in high school football. That was an incredible run by Rashad Robinson.
That's a top 15 matchup in the San Diego section here tonight. Number 11, Rancho Bernardo. Number 12, Torrey Pines. Both 2-0 on the season, looking for a third win to start the campaign. It's our CIF San Diego section game of the week, brought to you by TVX Sports Video. Outstanding matchup here tonight. The Broncos of Rancho Bernardo, our hosts on a gorgeous evening across San Diego County, led by Gage Weddle, the Super Bowl champion and 14-year NFL vet. They're number 11 in the section. Number 12, Torrey Pines, also 2-0. Both teams in the D1 playoffs a season ago, and now they meet here in the North County tonight. It's our game of the week, brought to you by TVX Sports Video. TVX has been covering sports here in San Diego and across the Southwest for nearly 20 years. They're committed to bringing you the best in live, local, and emerging sports. Visit tvxvideo.com or check them out on YouTube, Instagram, X, all at TVX Sports Video. Well, as we get set here to race onto the field for our matchup tonight between Torrey Pines and Rancho Bernardo, let's hear from some of the stars you will see and get a chance to meet here tonight. Our own Tommy Moore spoke with the players and coaches for our matchup.
All right, Coach. RB, TP, one of the bigger rivalries in San Diego. What's it mean to play this game?
Well, every year you play Rancho Bernardo, you're going to play a disciplined team, a team that likes to hit, runs to the football, plays a good offense. You can go back to the Hamamoto days, the Elrod days, and now with Coach Weddle, it's a lot of fun.
And last year, 3-0. I know there's a little salt and pepper in the beard. How much of that salt and pepper came from that game specifically?
I'd say quite a bit of it. That was a great high school football game if you're a defensive coach, and a very frustrating one if you're an offensive coach.
Well, it does seem like, too, especially them over there, they can, if they want to, sort of deflate the ball and take their time. And how, games like that, obviously, are way more stressful, but they're going to be close. They're going to be fun. So what's it like having to battle through those fourth quarters when it's a 3-point game, a 7-point game, a tie game?
Well, you're going to see that here in the background of us. We're about to start our conditioning, and it's plays a big part of it, and the ability to have energy when you're tired. Not just physical energy, but mental energy, and not let down.
And, they do have some two-way guys. You have a couple two-way guys, but I assume most of it's sort of offense-defense, right? So, what is sort of how does the makeup of your roster sort of impact you in games like this?
It does, and that's kind of a catch-22 or a every game answer. It just depends the flow of the game. We have guys that are going to play a lot two ways, some of our best players, just like them, and some days they don't have to if the other people are doing their job.
Families as we celebrate Pop Warner Night here at Broncos Stadium.
Rancho Bernardo and Torrey Pines here. Our thanks to Scott Ashby for being part of our broadcast here tonight. 3 decades in the Torrey Pines coaching staff in his third season back with the Falcons. In his third season on the other side, it's the 14-year NFL veteran, the Super Bowl champion with the Rams, Gage Weddle, who's taking over the program led by his son Gage, who we'll get into a little bit. But he, too, previewing tonight's matchup with our Tommy Morris.
Big rivalry game. Torrey Pines, RB. Is this one a little bit different? I know there's some other rivalries on the schedule, but this one has a little more meaning to it, doesn't it?
Well, I don't necessarily call it a rivalry. We fortunately haven't beat them in, I think it's 2 decades, and it pains me to say that. So this is a program that's been successful, won a lot over the years, and I have admiration and respect for Coach Ashby and the job he does. I really look up to him and a lot of the coaches in the area. So we are really excited for the challenge and put our best foot forward and hopefully make it a rivalry by winning. You have to win to make it a rivalry.
Well, only a 3-point game last year, right? So it was almost there. Big defensive battle last year. Are you expecting more of the same, or what do you think it's going to look like this year?
Yeah, I mean, they're a tough physical group, well coached, disciplined. We're going to have to manage the early downs offensively, be productive. If we get behind the sticks, it's not going to be very good. And then us on defense, I think we create some problems and some matchups for them. So It's going to be a good game. I think it's two really good programs, well coached guys, and the boys that play hard, play for each other. I think it's going to be an exciting matchup, and who can create some big plays, who doesn't turn the ball over, convert some third downs and maybe a trick play here and there. But I like the matchup per se. I think for both of us, and it should be a great one.
We're hoping that too, because that's why we're here.
You guys want to see points, and I know we're going to be throwing the ball, so that's kind of what we're morphing into, more of a passing offense, and get the ball out on the perimeter to our athletes, and defensively we get after the quarterback, and so we'll see. Hopefully we'll have some fireworks for you guys.
Well, we hope so as well, and Torrey Pines will be receiving first to start this contest. The Falcons won the toss and deferred, so it'll be Rancho Bernardo, the Broncos, who are receiving first in this contest. Jack Cronin, Jonathan Rifkin with you tonight. Our CIF San Diego section Game of the Week, brought to you by TVX Sports. And this has been a fun one to watch over the years, as they mentioned, both those coaches there who are legacy guys around football in this community, and legacy programs as well on display.
It's an interesting situation because they're both incredible football figures for completely different reasons. Coach Ashby has been coaching for the better part of 35 years, and Eric Weddle is a 6-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, 14-year NBA veteran, or NFL veteran, and somebody who is deeply rooted in the northern part of San Diego's community. So you're right, the football pedigree collectively is incredible, but it's for two completely different reasons, which makes it even that much more fun. Who's better, the NFL mind or the long-time coaching mind? It's an amazing, amazing situation we find ourselves in.
Yeah, Torrey Pines, all of those years in high school football, synonymous with high school football here in San Diego, and the great athletic program across the board for both of these schools, Rancho Bernardo as well. Been fun to be a part of over the last several years. All right, so we just heard from Coach Weddle. His son, Gage Weddle, who is just a sophomore, came on as a starter at many different positions. In fact, he's classified as an athlete, the number one athlete of his class, the sophomore class right now of 2028. He's the number one athlete in that class. He's going to start at quarterback tonight and play in the secondary on defense as well. There have been so many times. I remember I called a game, Jonathan, where Eric Weddle was playing for Utah against San Diego State at Qualcomm Stadium, where he, as a defensive player, scored 3 touchdowns. He scored one on offense. They brought him in as a kind of a wildcat direct snap, and he returned 2 touchdowns for TD. So this, it doesn't surprise me that Gage Weddle plays that kind of brand of football, and he'll also be quarterbacking this offense tonight.
He's a Swiss Army knife. He's somebody that you can pull out in any situation because he is going to out-athlete you. That's why in the conversation, if you were with us during the pregame show, he told Tommy Morris, I like considering myself an athlete because that puts him now in this nondescript box where he can go and be inserted for the team's utmost success because he is faster than everybody and he has a heck of a football IQ. And by the way, he wasn't destined to be the quarterback of this team. It sort of happened to fall into his lap that way, and to throw for 1,100 yards a season ago, to average 7 tackles per game while he is throwing for those 1,100 yards is an incredible feat. But at the end of the day, I think that his defensive presence is really what stands out. But he is this team's quarterback, and they have to act accordingly as well.
Yeah, he's the team's leading rusher and passer. As Jonathan mentioned, a year ago he had 90 tackles. He was second on the team in tackles, threw for 1,100 yards, ran for another 621 combined touchdowns. That was just on offense. So this year he is the leading rusher, and he runs the offense as the quarterback as well. So it will be a big focal point on both sides of the ball, where number 22 is, where Gage Weddle is, what he's doing, and how well he is playing. Remember, he came on strong as a freshman last year. He's only a sophomore. And so whatever you see from him tonight, know how good he is. He's only in his second year of high school football.
And that's the scary thing, Jack, is when you're an underclassman, you're just this talented, right? And now all of a sudden, I think there's this perception where if you're the coach's son, then you're always going to be elevated beyond your true means. But the truth is that Gage Weddle has exploded onto the national scene as a freshman and now into his sophomore year, which shows that his pedigree goes beyond just the last name that he wears on his back. It's truly associated to his abilities on the field and how he composes himself and his leadership ability. I mean, when you look at a complete, somebody who may be a little bit undersized, but he plays in the secondary, so it's perfect. So when you see somebody sort of with his approach, with his pedigree, it makes sense that he's getting national attention for the class of 2028. And you hit the nail on the head, Jack. What you see here tonight is still the front nine of his high school football career.
Yeah.
Imagine what he's going to be on the back nine starting next year, his junior season.
He's got incredible offers already around the country. Just a sophomore. These are high-profile, big-time power conference schools who are already looking. And obviously the name, puts you on the early radar, but you got to produce to get to that kind of level. And he has done that at Rancho Bernardo, leading the way. They have several really great players. Here's the captain, Lucas Winkler, who is at 6'5", 255, going to UC Davis next season as an offensive lineman. And they got plenty of guys who can run the ball, and Wales got plenty of targets as well.
Yeah, when you have 260 pounds and you're 6'5", you need to serve as an FBS team. And so UC Davis transitioning from the FCS to the FBS, joining the Mountain West Conference. That is the body that you want protecting your quarterback up front. And by the way, he will be playing offensive line. You heard him talking about it with Tommy. He likes to play the offensive side of the ball, though they play him on both sides here with the Broncos. But an integral part to the success for Rancho Bernardo here this season, and then a very healthy college career at least to come.
Devin Valencia is the other captain, the leading tackler with 30 stops on the year, 132 a year ago. So only Weddle was behind him in terms of number of tackles for Rancho Bernardo. He's the captain on the defensive side of the ball. For Eric Weddle and the 2-0 Broncos, Jonathan, both of these teams starting out the season 2-0 after going to the D1 playoffs last year.
Yeah, Torrey Pines, they took out Scripps Ranch in the opener, and then they had to play the eventual D1 champs, Granite Hills. And Zach Benitez had the game of his career, and Torrey Pines just could not find a way to overcome that passing attack. Granite Hills went on to win the D1 champs, so there's no shame in losing to the eventual champions. By the way, Granite Hills, outside of the one terrible loss to Cathedral, was a borderline open division team.
Yeah.
So they were playing a really difficult game when they didn't have a bye week the week before. Their opposition did, and the cards don't fall in your favor. But I think that when you return the amount of quality athletes that Torrey Pines did, and you have the pedigree of the coaching staff on that sideline, I think you're looking at this season, you're saying, well, we could be even better than we were last year, and we were pretty good last year going to that quarterfinal.
2-0 for each team a year ago. Coming into this game, 2-0 on both sides. They are ready to roll here tonight. We get to the national anthem, and then the opening kick. It's coming your way in our top 12 matchup. Number 11, Rancho Bernardo. Number 12, Torrey Pines. Your CIF San Diego section game of the week.
Honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Torrey Pines and Rancho Bernardo on tap for us. Talked about the Broncos quarterback. On the other side for Torrey Pines is Blake Miller, who was out slinging the football, Jonathan, in warm-ups out there. Strong arm. Very impressive for Blake Miller. The junior quarterback has thrown for 300-plus yards in the first two games and 3 touchdowns.
Well, after watching his brother throw a touchdown pass last week and seeing the strength that his brother has in that right arm, he said, wait a second, I'm the quarterback of this team. My brother, who's an amazing wide receiver, cannot be throwing better darts than I can, so he better be warming up with a little extra zip on those passes, Jack. But you're absolutely right. He's somebody who came up and really stepped up when this team needed a quarterback last year. 2 years ago, it was an offense that really couldn't do much, and then they finally reinstituted a West Coast-style offense with Blake, and it's been going really, really well. And you're right, Jack, over 300 passing yards. They didn't have to do too much last week against San Pasqual, but here tonight, I think he's probably going to have to throw the ball a little bit more than 156 yards if they want to win.
They beat La Jolla in week 1, San Pasqual after that. For Torrey Pines, they're 2-0. For Rancho Bernardo, wins over Lucerna and Brawley. They also come into tonight 2-0 and undefeated on the season. Clark Dakar, the junior kicker.
You know, Jack, I think that it's an interesting situation here for Rancho Bernardo to start off with the ball first. I think at home in a game of this magnitude, you probably would like to receive the second half kickoff so you can gauge where the momentum is and the adjustments you need to make and then start with possession. But I like the idea of getting the ball first here. If they can, safely handle the return, maybe you get on the board first and get some momentum.
There's the opening kick. Silas Christensen will take it at the 3-yard line. Christensen, the early return for Rancho Bernardo, taken down at the 31. So we'll see the Broncos and Gage Weddle for the first time in the royal blue tops, white helmets and white pants, the traditional Rancho Bernardo Bronco colors. Blue and white Torrey Pines.
Now we'll look at it here, Jack. Good return at that 5-yard line. Nice blocking, and then just pushing it right across the 20. But I think the 30. But if you're Rancho Bernardo, you are taking every opportunity to try set yourself up in the best possible situation to score.
The Falcons in the winged helmets, maroon, white, and black. The Torrey Pines Falcons. Here is Weddle to throw for the first time. Pass complete to the far side. Brody Sella. And it will be a loss of 1 yard on the play to the 30. 2nd and 11 due.
Yeah, you heard Coach Weddle twice tell our own Tommy Morris in their conversation, we are now more of a passing team than we were last year, and it's going to be hard to beat Torrey Pines in the trenches. This is a team that not recruits well, but they develop their offensive and defensive linemen very well. They're coached incredibly well. Rancho Bernardo not quite as big up front on the offensive side, so they're going to have to get creative if they're going to run some of these draws.
Trey Durham, the tight end, the senior at 6'2", 180, lines up in the slot closest to Weddle, 3 to his right side. Waiting on 2nd down and long here on this opening drive of the contest. Weddle to throw, pass complete to Durham. Over the middle, close to the first down. He'll take it to the 41-yard line, and that will be enough to move the chains, an 11-yard gain.
And that's exactly the approach that you need to take. Yes, the run play really sets up the pass here, but if you take a look, look at this. So everybody's in sync. He knows exactly where he's going to throw it. It's a perfect little slant up the middle. Defense wasn't ready. The little soft pocket between the linebackers was found, and that is an easy way to move the sticks. If you're Torrey Pines, you've got to be quicker off the line. Those linebackers have to move faster in the middle of the pocket or of the defensive pocket. Otherwise, those receivers will be open up the middle all evening long.
Christian Gonzalez comes to the slot this time, 3 to the left. The senior at 6'2", 180, leading receiver on the team, 6 catches, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Here's Weddle on his first design carry. The quarterback taking it to the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 3 for Rancho Bernardo, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 7 of the design quarterback keeper.
Gain of 3 yards.
Nice tackle right there by Shawayne Sidigai. You'll see right here, Weddle was slowing up, thinking about trying to maneuver his way around, but by the shoestrings, taken down after a short gain on the play.
So 2nd and 7 is due. Kevin Valencia that time had come in at running back. And now to be Nico Kaminis. 14 carries, 57 yards for the junior at 5'9", 170 in the backfield. 2nd down and 7. Weddle to throw this time. On 2nd and long, waiting over the middle, incomplete. Durham, the tight end, the target who caught the first down grab just a couple of plays ago. Incomplete, 3rd and long now.
Yeah, even though Durham has that long 6'2", 180-pound frame gliding through the middle of the field, a little too much zip behind that one. I think that the pass was the right pass to make. That's your A read, and that's the right guy to throw to, but maybe just a little too out ahead was Gage and maybe just a little too high for his 6'2" tight end to come down with that grab.
Durham's played some quarterback as well here at RB. 3rd down and 7. Kaminis in the backfield with Weddle. On 3rd down and 7, it's Durham who goes in motion. Weddle steps up against pressure, incomplete. Well, broken up on the play. It was intended for Gonzalez, and it'll be a punting situation now for Rancho Bernardo.
Yeah, you'll take a look at it here. Weddle sort of telegraphs this. He looked right, and then the blitz came, and him looking right let the defense know that odds are that was his primary target. The double was ready. The throw was pressured. Nothing doing, and a good stop here by that Torrey Pines defense to try and force a punt.
Ryan Franklin will come on to kick for Rancho Bernardo. So the opening drive results in a punt. And Dominic Rocco's back deep to receive. Kick on the way. They're going to let it bounce, and it will take a Torrey Pines bounce to about the 32-yard line. So both teams starting in similar field position. In this first quarter of play, opening matchup, opening drive for both sides now in this first quarter. The two teams that are 2-0 coming into tonight.
Yeah, and credit to Torrey Pines' defense. We know about the athletes that Rancho Bernardo has. We know about how high quality their coaching is. But at the end of the day, if you don't let the antics scare you, the depth of offense, right? The RPO options that they have with their quarterback, his ability to keep it and run it or throw it. Torrey Pines' defense bent but didn't break and got a great stop.
Under center is Blake Miller. To throw for the first time, pass complete. Near side, Logan Miller. The brothers' connection, and it will be about 10 yards, very close to a first down. Let's see where they mark the football. It is going to be a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, there's that brotherly connection once again. And by the way, how beautiful is it to watch the first snap for Torrey Pines come out of the I formation? A rarity in today's high school football game. Now, if you're privy to Torrey Pines football, you know that they instilled the wing T here in San Diego for, 4 decades. However, it's nice to see the power run at least set come out to the field and then turn into a completed pass at the end of the day.
Nice connection. Blake Miller to Logan Miller. Part of triplets, the Billy Caden rugby player. Now a penalty flag, the first of our contest, right at the snap of the 42-yard line. It's going to be a false start against Torrey Pines and move them back 5 yards. Our first penalty of the evening.
Yeah, if you're Torrey Pines, this is where Rancho Bernardo can really hurt you in taking advantage of your own mistakes. In a game like this, when you're on the road, it's a rivalry game. Yes, a nice turnout for you, but you're still on your opponent's home turf. You want to try and play as clean of a game as possible because while it may not necessarily be pound for pound an even matchup, Rancho Bernardo has more than enough in the tank to get the win here tonight. You do not want to give them any extra momentum, hope, or opportunity for that to happen if you're Torrey Pines.
It's 1st and 15 after the penalty. This time Miller will work out of the shotgun. 3 wide, handoff to Dominic Roca. 12 carries, 88 yards, 3 touchdowns on the season. Great on special teams as well. No gain, though, on this carry. It'll be 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, good job by Bishop to slide right through there and get the stop after no gain on the play. And it's an interesting decision. You're going to run it on 1st and long. The defense was ready for it, but now you only have those 2 downs to try and make something happen. You get some of those yards back. You could run on 2nd down, but now 2nd down becomes purely a passing play.
Carson Bischoff with the tackle, the junior. Again, 3 wide for Torrey Pines. Miller, shotgun to throw. 2nd and 15, far side pass complete. Out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. As Evan Anderson, the catch for 22 yards earlier. And now the junior gets half of that yardage back at the 46.
Yeah, he's a really good route runner, and you could just see it, a comebacker. Miller was ready. They weren't looking to get all of it right there, but you recognize the soft coverage by the secondary and frees up just enough time to get a chunk of those yards back and set up a 3rd and 6.
3rd down. The 46-yard line. They come with 4 wide this time. To throw on 3rd down. Miller fires incomplete. Trying to find Logan Bono, the junior. 6 catches, 92 yards just last week. But it goes incomplete, and now it's 4th down for Torrey Pines this time. They'll keep the offense out there and quickly come toward the line.
Yeah, it's interesting here in your own territory. Defense did a pretty good job on their own side, and Torrey Pines offensively isn't even ready as you see a late sub coming in. But they're going to go for it, Jack, here in their own territory.
4th and a long 6. And Miller will pooch it. Good end-over-end kick. This one is trending toward inside the 5. Will it make it there? It falls at the 6-yard line. What a pooch punt from Blake Miller.
They call it a pooch punt because the word pooch is used as the term cute, right? When you see a pooch, a dog, you think, oh, it's a cute dog, oh, it's a cute punt. There was nothing cute about that punt. That was putting Rancho Bernardo's back against the walls on this drive. I mean, pooch punts typically happen because you don't have a punter, and so you kind of just have to throw all caution at the wind with your quarterback. But what a great job in this situation by Torrey Pines, executing it perfectly. And by the way, they do have a punter, so they executed exactly what they were hoping to.
All the way back to the 6-yard line goes Gage Weddle and Rancho Bernardo. Both sides having to punt on their opening drives in this first quarter of action. No score here, 6:32 to play in the first. Weddle with Kaminis behind him, lining up in the end zone.
Watch the blitz here. They're only rushing 3, but it could be a stunt.
Durham, the tight end, in motion. Weddle, handoff, Kaminis out to about the 8-yard line for a gain of 2.
That defense was interesting, Jack, because they went 3-4 look, and you could see the linebacker for Torrey Pines. He sort of, stunted forward as if he was going to rush and then dropped back, but that opened up that gap for the run. I know he didn't go very far, but look how much space is right there in the middle of that line. Luckily, he was wrapped up to slow him down to let everybody else come, but interesting decision to switch to a 3-4 defensive set and only rush 3 and let that gap open up when your opposition's heels are in the end zone.
Chris Peralta with the tackle for Torrey Pines. 2nd down and 8. Weddle to throw this time. Goes to the far side. Ooh, nearly an outstanding grab. Hugo Gonzalez, the senior wideout, has got 9 catches on the year. Nearly hauled that one in.
Yeah, that is not easy by any means. A gorgeous throw, almost threading the needle, and we do have a Falcon down on the field here on the near side.
Injured player is Cyrus Alexander, the senior. 5'11", 180, the defensive back for Torrey Pines. Our first injury of the contest comes on a 3rd and 8 upcoming for Rancho Bernardo.
Take another look at it here. He's on the near side of your screen, number 13 in the slot, and non-contact injury. He came right down on that leg, and it just locked up on him. That is a scary sight. Every injury is a scary sight, but those non-contact injuries, when you see those happen, especially on those replays, it is stomach churning. So we really hope that Cyrus Alexander's okay as he's getting helped off the field.
So the injury timeout early in this first quarter. No scores. Rancho Bernardo will have the football for the 2nd time. So they try and get out from inside their own 10-yard line on this second drive. Torrey Pines, while both sides of the punt, it's a good leg up on the field position battle.
This game starting. By the way, it's really good that he's walking off under his own pressure. Typically, when you see those non-contact knee injury or people gripping their knees after going down, they're not walking off under their own power. So this is a great sign to see him walking off by himself and clearly, at least in positive spirits. But you're right. This game is starting pretty similarly to last year's 3-0 game. Slow start. I know we've only seen a drive and a half from Rancho Bernardo and 1 drive from Torrey Pines, but both teams feels like they're still waiting for the juice to kick in to get jazzed up for this game, because right now both teams sort of have that melancholic feel to their approach.
Arby's going to spread everything out. 5 wide for Gage Weddle. On 3rd down and 8. Empty backfield from the 8-yard line. Here's Weddle. Pressure just inside of the end zone. Still on his feet. Able to get rid of it down the field. It's incomplete, though. Christian Gonzalez, the target. Weddle was dancing around and out of pressure, was nearly wrapped up, perhaps even behind the goal line, but it goes incomplete. They'll have to punt.
Yeah, I need to take some dance classes here at RB because clearly they're working. I mean, look at this. This is, a yard and a half outside, and then you got a secondary guy coming in and wrapping you up, still able to evade it. I mean, you got to make this catch at the end of the day. There is no excuse. As a wide receiver, you are taught that when you create that separation, always look back at the quarterback. You are wide open. Gonzalez saw him scrambling. They made eye contact. That ball was just floated up there. And for whatever reason, Gonzalez just cannot reel it in.
So now Torrey Pines will receive the punt. Again, this is where the field position battle is already an early advantage for Torrey Pines. Dominic Rocco has been great on special teams this year. 3 touchdowns on offense. Back to receive. Kick is away. Fair catch called for. And he dives for it at the 35-yard line. Outstanding field position for Torrey Pines. They'll start at their opponent's 36 against RB.
Yeah, RB really quite literally had their backs against the wall to start that drive, and it stalled. And if you're Torrey Pines, your defense is now being rewarded by getting your offense really good field position. And by the way, you just rewarded your offense with that pooch punt by forcing Rancho Bernardo to start off within their own 5. So this is symbiotic relationship football. This is the Torrey Pines way. You want to make sure that you do not diminish the positive gains made by your fellow teammates, right? If you're an offensive only player, you want to do everything in your power. If your defense has a good stand, to reward that good stand and vice versa. And right now, Torrey Pines, we'll see if this offensive drive can be fruitful. They're doing just that.
Bono and Miller out to the right side as Blake Miller comes under center. And about 3 yards down to the 33-yard line for Sonny Villegas, the senior at 5'8", 180, 28 carries on the year, 144 yards for Villegas. That makes it a 2nd down and 7 from their RB 33.
Yeah, I could see the conservative nature here. This was just supposed to be a shift to add extra blocking. Defense was ready for it. I mean, the legs, the power to be able to push 3 blue jerseys forward like that is second to none. You make something out of nothing, but still 2nd and 7.
Miller again under center. Fakes the handoff, backs up, throws, going deep downfield, incomplete. Wasn't quite set as he got rid of the football. It goes incomplete.
Logan Miller out there. Yeah, that's the second time he's looked for his brother. Got him on the first try, didn't get him on the second try. I think it's American USA night here tonight, Jack. Lots of red, white, and blue around.
Great stuff from the Bronco crowd. Big time showing up here tonight against Torrey Pines. Great to see it on a Friday night.
Yeah, North County football has really taken a turn for the better the last couple of years, and Rancho Bernardo has been in the thick of that transition. Nice to see the fans are showing out for their support.
Now 3rd and long. Miller, quick toss, far side complete for the first down. And get it inside the 25-yard line. A connection with Logan Miller again.
Yeah, soft coverage on the outside. Logan moving from the slot where he was the last 3 snaps. Alone in the X. Again, soft zone coverage, freeing up more than enough yardage for the aforementioned Miller to get the first down and some change and set his team up for that just outside the red zone opportunity.
The brothers are connected now for a couple of first down plays. This is 1st and 10 from the 24. 4 minutes to go, no score, first quarter. Blake Miller coming under center. And penalty flags will come in. And this might go against RB.
Offensive encroachment.
Okay, so a penalty the other way against.
It's going to go on Cam Nishnik, one of the other tight ends on this team. He and Luke Jackson sort of split the line there, and right there he just got caught moving. And that's a fortuitous penalty for an RB defense that's struggling right now.
1st and 15 after the encroachment on the offensive side. Handoff. Villegas still going, powering his way down inside the 10. to the 8-yard line. First and goal for Torrey Pines.
Oh, Silas Christensen exploding out of his position in the secondary and realizing he was the last line of defense. Had Christensen not slid over. I mean, look at this explosion right there, just right through that gap. Plenty of space. Beat a man here. Christensen lowers the shoulder, says, well, you're going to have to try one more time to get into that end zone because it ain't happening right now. But a nice run to set up a first and goal, Jack.
First and goal from the 8 for Torrey Pines. Looking for our first score of the contest. Villegas in the backfield. As Miller works out of the shotgun. And Villegas not going to get it this time. Back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe forward progress for a yard. But either way, it's going to be second and goal for Torrey Pines.
Yeah, it was a draw, but the defense was ready, and a good job by Rancho Bernardo. And the big bruiser up front, Lucas Serrano, leading out the tackle. The 6'2 junior was pushing that entire offensive line to his left. You'll see it right here. So it's a delayed handoff. Here's the snap. Here's the handoff. You can see they're shoving that line in the direction of the run, which allows 3, now 4 of the RB jerseys to get in there and stifle it for just a gain of 1. I formation.
Power look. And Villegas, and taken down right shy of the 5-yard line. Well played. Carson Bischoff was in a great first quarter.
Yeah, the starting linebacker on this team at 6'4" knows the stakes right now. And on the power run, he recognized that running back was going to ISO right to him. Just swallowed him up for a second down stop, turning into third down.
3rd and 6. Goal to go situation. Dom Principe is the fullback. And his I formation ahead of Villegas. Miller to throw on 3rd and goal. He's got it right at the goal line and stopped at the 1. That play came out of the backfield. It was Principe who got the reception, but is stopped at the 1, and that means it's 4th and goal. Here we go. 4th and goal, 4th and less than a yard. Miller coming under center. Miller handing off to Villegas. He's going to be stopped. He won't make it in. RB with the stop. Gavin Valencia all over it. And Rancho Bernardo gets the stand.
Well, the Broncos able to swing momentum, at least for the moment, back to their favor. A great job to get set and just wait. Because you're not the only one as a defense who's being rushed. The offense is being rushed too, and you can see it right here. Nobody was really ready. I mean, Blake isn't even in his normal set. This is the non-touchdown. Yeah, he dropped right at the half-yard line. And then right here, look, the offense wasn't ready, but they had to go, and the defense was prepared, and they knew exactly where the strong side run was going to go.
Kevin Valencia with a stop. Shout out to Lucas Serrano as well, who was in there on the tackle for Rancho Bernardo. So for the second straight drive, the Broncos will start from inside the 5-yard line, but this is after they have the stand defensively. Weddle takes it himself. And he will get a little bit more room to the 4. That's a gain of 2 for Gage Weddle.
It's so tough as a quarterback. Back-to-back drives inside of your own 5-yard line. The most recent drive now starting at your own half-yard line. Maybe even closer.
Yeah.
Depending on how long your fingernails are.
Well, that time took the design quarterback run.
But Torrey Pines receiving the second half kickoff means that clock management begins right now. They are trying, at 0-0 at the end of the first quarter right now is a win for Rancho Bernardo, considering they have 1 first down.
And they've been way behind on field position.
Correct.
Including right now on 2nd down and 8. Here's Weddle from the 4-yard line. Another design quarterback run. He dives forward and makes it about to the 9-yard line. So it's not going to be enough for the first down. It's going to be very close. And that will probably bring us to the end of the first quarter here. 3rd down and about 2 for Rancho Bernardo.
Yeah, I mean, both designed runs intentional, obviously. You're trying to get that ball as far away from the end zone as possible, and you put it in your best athlete's hands as you get to look at the flow of Mr. Weddle here as we wind down this first quarter.
We're scoreless after our first quarter of action. Torrey Pines and Rancho Bernardo coming on back. CIF San Diego section game of the week brought to you by TVX Sports.
San Diego High School football is going live. Starting Friday, August 29th, the San Diego section will be partnering with TVX Sports Video to broadcast one high school matchup every week for free on YouTube, YurView San Diego, and Cox Cable.
Friday, September 12th, Granite Hills travels to face Mission Hills on the San Diego section game of the week. Watch live on YouTube at TVX Sports Video, Cox Channel 4, and YurView, California.
What a great night here in San Diego. It's been warm the last couple of weeks. September is always a warm month here at America's finest city. But we're still at 71 degrees as we start the second quarter of play. Pretty humid week. We had some thunderstorms pop up in the mountains. 79% humidity here still. It's just approaching 8 o'clock in San Diego tonight. So very nice, fun, warm evenings. Have some pretty hot days here, relatively speaking, of course, for San Diego.
And I will tell you that both of these teams are practicing maintenance right now. The fans not so much are. I mean, this student section in front of us that is absolutely packed out has been on their feet the entire time, which is great to see. Sometimes you don't get continuity across the board when it comes to high school football. Some high schools have amazing student sections and some have, a little bit left to be desired. Not here at RB, though. They are doing it right, and these students are probably going to stand the entire evening. The question is, can their team give them something to continue to stand for here as we begin the second quarter?
Defense certainly has a goal line stand on 4th and goal from the 1. RB comes up with a stop. This is the drive they take over afterward. Gage Weddle with the carry out to the 11-yard line, but it's not going to be enough for the first down. 3 design runs for the quarterback, Gage Weddle, and it's going to be 4th down and 1 for RB.
That tells me one of two things. As we take another look at the third straight designed run, all 3 have gone to the left, by the way. And that might be just the stronger running side for Gage, but you can tell that Rancho Bernardo, as we know, trust their quarterback utmost with the ball in his hands. But I'm wondering, is it over trust or is it not enough trust in everybody else? If they're going to allow him to run the ball 3 straight times, because that's a throwing situation. You're 3rd and about 6 as they come to measure out this ball. That's a throwing situation. Unless you're really going to throw in the flag on that play against a team that's done a really good job of spotting your quarterback, in my opinion, it's a throwing situation.
So bring the chains out.
Oh, that's great. I'm just kidding. It looks like it's about a half a football, maybe a full football away.
So there we go. So that's the decision. 4th down now, and very short for Rancho Bernardo.
You've struggled to move the ball. You have 1 first down now in 3 drives. They're double measuring.
Respotting the football. I love that. Using the tools.
Yeah, no VAR in high school football.
That's
so
right.
you got to do this old school, which I love, but I think you're going to go for it. However, you've done such a good job of keeping the Falcons at bay offensively. You're really setting them up in a really positive position if you don't get it. But I guess if we're talking about faith as a coaching staff, you have to have faith in your players to get the half a yard, no matter where you are on the field, whether it's your own 10-yard line or the opposition's 10-yard line.
All right. So RB's going for it on 4th and less than a yard from their own 11. Weddle working out of the shotgun. Quick toss. They throw on 4th down. They get it complete for the first down to the 20. So the drive continues as Hugo Gonzalez gets the catch.
Great play. Quick pitch, quick catch. Gonzalez, a slant up the middle. Soft defense. Perfect throw. Right on the hands. And you get those thumbs together to secure that ball. My question is, clearly there was trust and faith in a 4th and 1 to throw the football. Where was that trust on 2nd down and on 3rd down when you had to run your quarterback out of the end zone?
Yeah, setting things up. 3 straight runs on the drive, and then...
So you're telling me that was the plan?
Yeah.
I love it. You know what? I will never question a coaching staff again. They know what they're doing.
10:35 to play in the first. No score. RB with their third drive of the game. Gonzalez again, back-to-back catches, getting through traffic out across the 20 to the 24-yard line. So Gonzalez with back-to-back catches. He came in with 9 on the season into tonight, his third game. This will be 2nd down and 6 for the Broncos.
Another look at it here. Little whip out to the far side. Little double dip here for Hugo Gonzalez on back-to-back possessions. And good job to fight forward. It seems like that effort should earn more than just 5 yards, or 4 yards, really. But at the end of the day, the defense stepping up there at the end of that play.
Brody Sell with a nice block at the wide receiver spot as well. Tell with a 4-yard gain. Weddle in the shotgun. 2nd down and 6. Weddle looks, throws to Sella, who makes the catch, makes the first man miss, and gets out to the 28-yard line. So that's 3 more yards, and it's bringing up a 3rd down and short for Rancho Bernardo. In fact, they'll mark him at the 29.
So it's the short passing game right now. Great job by the line. You're doubling up the big guy up front, giving Gage time, get it to your athletes on the sides. This time, Brody Sella able to make a good first move for some separation. And instead of it being 4th and 1, at least it's 3rd and 1 now.
3rd down and 1. So good quick passes from Weddle with 9 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Sella goes in motion. Handoff. And it won't be enough for the first down. Nico Jimenez with the carry, but it's not going to be enough to get the first down. So similar situation. Will RB go forward again on this drive? Already done it once on 4th down and a yard. A second opportunity right now.
Well, you want to talk about rewarding your offense. If you get it on 4th and 1 from your 11, they're certainly going to go for it on 4th and 1 from your own 29.
So the offense stays out there for RB. 8:29 to play here in the first half. No score. 4th down and 1 for the second time on this drive. Gage Weddle gets the play call in. Out of the shotgun, he'll take it himself. Weddle coming to the near side. He's got the first down and more. Weddle across the 40, cuts it back across midfield, spinning his way down to the 47-yard line. Into Falcon territory and a first down gain.
Gage Weddle turning the throttle into the next Gage as he shifts into 4th gear. Look at this. I mean, he is surveying. That was not the gap he was originally going to hit. He was going to go around in the last moment, saw it, and then right here becomes the battle. I mean, even though he is wrapped up around the hips and now the knee and now the ankle, it still takes a second guy to hit him to get him down.
RB, nice blocking as well. That was bring their quarterback.
Don Principe, by the way, on the stop, but a very difficult stop at that.
So 1st and 10 from the Falcon 47-yard line. Play action. Weddle stepping up against pressure. Hit as he throws. Far side. Incomplete. Trying to get at Hugo Gonzalez. I think the pressure impacted that throw. Incomplete.
Yeah, it felt like Gonzalez was there, but the throw came in a tad late. Maybe he was a little early on his turn there, and so Gage felt like maybe he had to release it. But there's time here in the pocket. Good job by the line to play the play action. There's your window of opportunity for a moment, but not enough zip as Torrey Pines was able to snuff it out. Another one from Shion to the guy.
2nd down now and 10 from the 47-yard line. Weddle with Gavin Valencia in the backfield. To throw on 2nd down. Over the middle. Pass complete. For a first down to the 35-yard line. Hauled in by Carson Bischoff, the 6'4" tight end.
Great recognition. Recognizing that the blitz was coming, a linebacker had taken a step forward. That gave Gage the signal that that middle was going to be open. Right there, you see that, and Bischoff unattended to. Thank you very much, said the big tight end as he drives his way forward. And by the way, Rancho Bernardo has had possession for the better part of close to 7 minutes now, and they are marching right down this field.
6:49 to play in the first half. No score. Gage Weddle Near side, that one's complete. Inside the 30 to the 25-yard line, Tyson Wilcox, the junior, for the reception.
Yeah, first reception of the season for Mr. Wilcox, coming at an opportune time, and now you set your team up just shy of the red zone with the 25, and when you started at the 1-yard line and you have to go marching against a team that just stopped you in that same position, it's not an easy battle, especially with 2 4th downs, but big guys step up in big moments, and Gage and his wide receivers have recognized the defensive soft spots and have executed here on this drive.
Rancho Bernardo's defense got a goal line stand to take over at the 1. Went for it on 4th down and won twice on this drive, and now they've got it 1st and 10 from the Falcon 25-yard line. Weddle on play action, steps up and fires. It's picked off, intercepted. Torrey Pines, Henry Kendall pulls it down for the INT, and they'll take it to the 22-yard line.
Intercepted by number 12.
A great job by Kendall.
And wearing that club as well to get the INT.
It's supposed to make it harder to catch a football.
Absolutely.
Which, by the way, you'll see him extend with one hand. That's why he had to catch it. Here's a good play action. Offensive line, great hold, secondary hold up front. And then, yeah, you could see, look at that, right with that right hand.
A one-handed interception while wearing a club on your left hand. He uses just the one hand to get the INT.
Somebody call Sports Center because that's a top 10 play. I don't know if I've ever seen that. And by the way, that's a great shot. You can see the hands on the heads of everybody in the home crowd because they could not believe what they just saw with that one-handed interception. And by the way, for the fact that they're high IQ quarterback to throw it is just another one of those moments right there.
Man, that is a heck of a play by Henry Kendall. The junior, he's not just wearing like the one little club on his hand for the injury. He's wearing his entire cast.
Right. Like there should be miles of signatures on that cast
right,
from all of
his
teammates.
That's right. And he picks it off in the run of play with one hand.
Unbelievable stuff. Oh,
not a tip ball. Not a fluky play. That was just a...
And by the way, all of us thought that the receiver, we all thought that was an open pass. He kind of just came out of nowhere, in real time at least, and that hand was up there, and he came down with it. Unbelievable.
So what was a promising drive for Rancho Bernardo has ended with the interception. This is Dominic Rocco for the carry, the senior. He takes it to the 27-yard line. Gain of 5, 3rd down and 5 on the way. 5:44 to play. Here in the first half, still no score. Torrey Pines went for it on 4th and goal from the 1, did not get in, turned it over on downs. Rancho Bernardo with the interception. So we still are scoreless here with just over 5 minutes to play in the first.
Not that there's ever a positive interception situation. But what a deflating interception situation. 2 4th and 1s converted for 4 first downs, including one at your own 11-yard line. And then the drive stalls on an interception close to the red zone. Frustrating for the offense.
3rd down and 5. Blake Miller under center. And we're going to have a delay of game.
It's fun to hear these because in high school you hear in the stands, people think that there's no clock because there is no play clock that you can see in the stadium, but they keep it on their timer on the field. So the officials know where, the proverbial play clock is, but, fans don't really realize that you can still get delay of games in high school football.
So now it becomes 3rd and 10.
And by the way, a very unideal time for that penalty to come in.
3rd and long. I formation for Miller. Miller pressured, rolls away, and 3 guys chasing him, 2 blocked away, and Miller will be hit right out of bounds. Flags come in, pushing and shoving along the far sideline as Blake Miller takes a hit. It looked like he got the 10 yards, probably had to run 50 of them just to get those positive 10, but he's out of bounds as they sort out the penalties.
Oh, he is so tough. I mean, he's up there limping, and he's telling everybody that he's fine. And by the way, I thought there was an illegal block in the back here. Look up to your left side, right there.
Yeah.
That looked to me like, and that was right in front of the back line, Judge. But nonetheless, I mean, you can't be hitting players like this. Gavin Valencia, he's going out of bounds. Got to protect everybody, and unfortunately, it's going to turn into personal fouls here for Rancho Bernardo.
So it is Gavin Valencia who gets hit with the late hit call. 15-yard penalty, and will move the football to the 47-yard line.
And I understand, like, you are trained in high school football. Like, you want to make sure that you're getting your hits. And in real time, that's a bang-bang play. It's really hard when you're trained a certain way to tell your subconscious to stop because that guy is going out of bounds. It's a compromised situation to be in at this stage of the game as a defender. So I give a little bit of empathy to Gavin, but I am glad at the end of the day that Blake is okay, and that was a penalty called.
And Hiroka is going to be stopped. Loss of 2 yards.
Rancho Bernardo's line has been holding tough.
Yep.
It's been very impressive. And by the way, the blocking schemes have become a little bit more integral because when you look back at the first quarter, it was sort of man-on-man, and now they're actually crossing up their blocking schemes, trying to create space for other attackers that come through those lines.
Carson Bischoff again on the stop. Rio Bersamira on the tackle as well for Rancho Bernardo. Second and officially 11 for the Falcons. Football at their own 46. 4 minutes to play in the first, no score. Miller to throw. Got plenty of time. Backs up and fires. Passes caught downfield. Kevin Jackson, the tight end, all the way down to the 25-yard line.
Watch the heads-up play here by Blake Miller. Watch how many steps he takes backwards. Yeah, they say 3-step drop. This guy just took a 9-step drop because he knew that the defense was going to come in with pressure, and that allowed him to give his receivers some time to create some separation and throw a perfect ball here to land them at the 24-yard line.
Kevin Jackson's a great player, senior 6'3", 230.
A couple of offers, USD and NAU, to his list so far. You could be calling his name on Saturdays pretty soon, Jack.
I'll be there tomorrow, hosting number 24 Southern Utah over at Torrey Stadium. First down and 10 from the 24-yard line. Miller, pressured this time, fires away, going for the end zone, incomplete. Logan Bono was the target.
Yeah, good coverage there. Nothing too crazy. It was Silas Christensen in the one-on-one. The ball was overthrown, but there's no separation anyways. And this very solid man-on-man defense in the end zone. And some good pressure, too. I mean, Blake felt the heat in the pocket. And so he knew he had to put a little bit more behind that ball. And unfortunately for him, it was a little too much.
Torrey Pines going to call timeout. So their first opportunity to call timeout for either side goes to Torrey Pines with 3:25 remaining here in this contest. You could be part of the CIF San Diego section game of the week from TVX Sports. Great way to be part of the community here at the high school football level. We're live online on TVX as well as across Southern California. From San Diego to Santa Barbara to Palm Springs up to Los Angeles, even out toward Arizona. These games are all on live from Cox, Chandra, and Spectrum, and TVX Video Online YouTube. San Diego section high school football game of the week. Some of the best matchups last week. Lincoln and Long Beach Poly, Jonathan, today. RB and Torrey Pines. Mission Hills, Granite Hills next week.
Zach Benitez and Troy Hune are your quarterbacks next week.
Right.
You stick with us for the rest of this and then leave the stream or the Channel 4 on and just wait until next Friday because that's going to be a great game. Oh, and by the way, the 19th, you got potentially the game of the year in the regular season outside of Cathedral and Lincoln, Helix and Cathedral, and then we get to cap off the month with Mount Miguel and Oceanside. Come on.
For partnerships, contact TVX Sports here in San Diego. Miller pressured on second down and 10. He's going to be wrapped up and thrown down for a loss.
By the way, that Mount Miguel Oceanside game, sneaky high profile with players on both sides having offers all over the board. This game has players who aren't so sneaky good, but just flat out good. And right now, they're all apparently playing on the defensive side because neither team can do more with the offense once you get into your opposition's territory.
Yeah, stalling out here. Again, that's a credit to both defenses. We've had the turnover on downs on one side and the interception on the other. 3rd and 13 now from the 27-yard line. 3:16 to play in a scoreless first half. Blake Miller coming under center. Miller to throw on 3rd and long. Miller stepping up, pressure, down he goes. Miller back across the 30-yard line. Taken down by Carson Bischoff.
Oh, a great job by the pressure. Miller was trying to circumnavigate that labyrinth of defensive linemen. And his eyesight was just blocked out with the white helmets in his purview, and space was suffocated on the sack. And now they're going to try a 47-yard field goal.
Well, Torrey Pines, Clark DeKirk hit from 41 yards earlier this year.
What's the altimeter here this evening, Jack? Are we a low pressure or high pressure air system?
I don't know. It's heavy air out there, humid air.
So it's going to be heavy.
49-yard field goal attempt. It's got the distance. This one is up. It is good from 49 yards. Clark with the boomer. And it's 3-0 Torrey Pines.
Wow. That ball would have been good from 50.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I don't have much analysis for you. It was incredible. I mean, everybody just has to be on the line. It's a good snap. It's a good hold. There's plenty of time, and he got just on the nose of the bottom of that football. I mean, that's good from 53, 54.
Oh,
that
yeah.
And if we were playing at altitude, that's good from 80. Well done.
Wow.
And now we have matched our score from last year.
3-0 Torrey Pines on a 49-yard field goal. Do not see.
Look at the coaches. I mean, they're smiling about on the sideline. These officials are like, wait a second, I was ready to wave that thing off. Now my shoulder hurts from having to put it up saying it's good.
He had a 41-yarder early. That was good from 49, and probably, as Jonathan said, a little bit more than that. Wow.
It's the third longest I've seen. I've seen Mateen Bagani, who's now the UCLA kicker, kick a 56-yarder when he was playing for Del Norte. North County kickers, man.
Impressive stuff from the junior kicker. Clark DeKirk with the 49-yarder, and now he'll kick things away. Brody Sella taking it at the 1-yard line. Sella for Rancho Bernardo, quickly out across the 20, lost the football. It's coming loose. A battle right before the 30-yard line. Torrey Pines is celebrating like they've got their second turnover of the day. And the officials will wait to sort things out on a fumble special teams. And Torrey Pines has got it.
Yeah, Christian Roche was the one who came away with it. But a great job across the board. Reese Goldberger on coverage as well. He was the one who made the hit. And that is the difficulty when you are running downhill essentially at full speed. I mean, there's space, and all of a sudden your legs get taken out of you. And a great job. The helmet actually hit the football, which is what jarred it loose. It was not a swipe of the hand. It was not an errant release. It was literally the crown of the helmet that forced that ball out. Great job.
Outstanding.
I mean, if we can maybe slow it down right before the hit, you will see right on the tackle. Right there.
Yep.
Look at that. Got to use every tool to your advantage, and the helmet is one of them. Just don't go helmet to helmet.
Dylan Cameron, the senior, popping the football loose, giving right back to Torrey Pines, already with a 3-0 lead. Here's Miller, pressured, gets rid of the football. It's complete to his brother across the 20 and down to the 15-yard line. So Blake to Logan Miller for a first down connection again.
Well, now it's Miller queued because they've hooked up 3 times here tonight. And you can see, again, pressure coming. That means somebody's open. And the last person you want to leave open is the other Miller because they got that twin telepathy going. They don't need to see each other. Blake knows Logan's open just because they're twins. I guess they're triplets technically, but out on that field, on the field, there's just 2 of them.
High formation now on first down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Blake Miller coming under center. And off Villegas, somersaulting his way to the 12. Gain of 3.
Yeah, good tackle by Drew Coates right there, the junior linebacker, just sitting on his heels and waiting for the running back to greet him in his arms.
Good look at the carry from Villegas.
By the way, RB's using their first timeout.
So both sides will use their first timeout of the half.
And it's really important, Jack, because Torrey Pines receives the second half kickoff. So we're at buck 58 here in this first half. You know, Torrey Pines scores. There's not a lot of time left. And all of a sudden, Torrey Pines scores. You're down by 2 possessions, and then you've got to kick off the football to Torrey Pines again. Now it's time to game plan. How do you keep Torrey Pines out of the end zone? If you give up... Well, that was a good throw right there by Coach Ashby.
Right.
Come on now. No wonder Blake Miller has been elevating his game offensively. That coach has got a cannon. But my point is, you have to find a way to keep Torrey Pines out of the end zone. Right now we're seeing that I formation, which has turned into a power run. We have seen some draws out to the right. We've seen some slants up the middle. So they're really mixing and matching their offense, but we haven't seen any RPO. We haven't seen Blake run at all. So if you're the defense, stay sturdy on the line and don't miss your matchups in the secondary, and you should be able to keep everybody in front of you and hopefully force at the most a field goal try.
Miller works shotgun this time with Villegas in the backfield. Logan Miller to the right. Blake rolling left. Under pressure. Now coming back toward the goal line. And Logan with a catch. Miller into the end zone. Touchdown for the first time tonight. Coming cross field. That's 9-0 Torrey Pines.
Well, it's a family affair here on a Friday night at Rancho Bernardo. Blake and Logan getting the job done here to punch it in for the Falcons' first touchdown here tonight. And just a great job. When we get that replay, you're going to see the throw. I mean, if Blake doesn't decide to stick to quarterback, he should be a shortstop, because this is the shortstop gliding to his left, off balance, sidearm throw, perfect. I mean, look at this. He's on the move, and he's able to sidearm it right into the pocket for his brother to make the catch. I mean, that is not only a heads-up play by his brother to run all across the field, but also his quarterback to make the throw.
Not an easy throw to make, not an easy play. And Torrey Pines able to convert for the touchdown. 10 straight points after the fumble recovery on special teams. This is the angle to look back at the throw. He's now throwing back the opposite direction,
which is the hardest throw to make in football.
But Logan Miller's momentum is carrying him in the opposite way and right into the end zone.
Impressive. We have seen a club pick here tonight. If you went for 6, it would have been a club 6. And we have seen the brother-to-brother connection. Torrey Pines giving us all they can here on a Friday night.
Very impressive. What a turnaround for the Falcons here in this second quarter.
Yeah, and Rancho Bernardo right now feeling this deficit. They had that one really good drive where they were able to march what ended up being just about 60 yards before the interception was thrown. But they have to find a way to orchestrate that drive again and continue to play their offense, because it started to work. They started to build continuity. They started to build the chemistry that you need to beat this Torrey Pines team. However, they threw an interception, and then the next time they were hoping to do it, they fumbled on the return. So maybe on this opportunity, they'll get it back on offense.
This one will go into the end zone for a touchback out of the reach of Silas Christensen. So Rancho Bernardo will have 2 timeouts and 1:50 on the clock for Gage Weddle and the Broncos.
And we should point out that the last time Rancho Bernardo had the ball and they went to 60 yards before the pick, that took them 7 minutes of possession time. It wasn't like it took 2 passes and they made up 60 yards with 2 30-yard receptions. It took a lot of ingenuity and a lot of grinding out these first and second downs and even 2 fourth downs to try and push the sticks. You don't have the luxury of time right now. You got to get yards in chunks if you want to get in the end zone before the half.
1:50 to go in the second quarter. Now a 10-0 lead for Torrey Pines. Incomplete. Trying to find Gonzalez. On first down, it'll bring up 2nd and 10 with 1:46 to go in the half.
Yeah, Weddle was feeling the pressure right there, and Gonzalez was his primary option, and if he had turned and tried to survey, he would have been tackled for a sack. So just getting rid of it. I don't think obviously the intention is to make the pass, but I don't think he had any expectation that catch was going to be made, and rather just live to play second down than lose the yards.
RB with 4 wide. Weddle, empty backfield. Quick toss. It's Sella. But he's only going to make it back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10 on the way.
Pass complete for number 11, Brody Sella. No gain on the play. 3rd and 10 for Rancho Bernardo.
Oh, look at it here. Yeah, I mean, the line just really not able to hold any protection. It was supposed to be sort of this wide receiver screen pass to the far side anyways to Sella, but nobody was there to block for him, and it goes for no gain.
Now Weddle to throw on 3rd and 10. Pressured. Gets away from it. Coming downfield. Going deep for Gonzalez. Is down and across midfield. Hugo Gonzalez. Cross to the 45-yard line. With 1 minute left to go, RB gets it across midfield.
Oh, a 26-yard completion. The longest here of the evening for Rancho Bernardo. That has to feel good, but a good job for Weddle to get out of harm's way. Only he and maybe one other quarterback here in San Diego could do it like that and make the completion.
It's an empty backfield again on 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Weddle stepping up against pressure. Throws incomplete for Sella. Brody Sella, the incompletion. This is back at the previous play.
Yeah, you'll see it. I mean, look, you do not want to set a precedent that in order to make big plays, your quarterback has to do this. But I think you're thankful that in order to make big plays, your quarterback can do this. And also a heads-up play by Hugo Gonzalez just to stick with his route, not get jaded. These wide receivers know that their quarterback is capable of escaping anything, so they're never going to give up on their routes, and Gonzalez was rewarded with a great 26-yard reception.
2nd and 10 from the 43. Empty backfield again for Gage Weddle. And now Torrey Pines is going to call timeout. That's their second. RB still has 2 on offense, but Torrey has now 1 remaining after this.
It's a tough situation. I like that RB has found a way to keep this drive alive. When they were on just now on 3rd down, you know, I think that a thought does flash in your mind. Does Torrey Pines get the ball back with enough time to do some more damage? But to get that 1st down at least assures you that you can hopefully kill at least another 20, if not 30 seconds off that clock if the rest of this drive stalls. And then Torrey Pines only has 1 timeout. But right now, I think if you're RB, it doesn't even matter. Your focus is trying to score the football. You got 47 seconds left. You got 2 timeouts. You have the home crowd trying to inject some energy into this offense. And you see that guy's shirt. It says lift fast, or lift heavy and run fast. And right now, that's what this Rancho Bernardo offense has to do.
Hayden does have a 30-yard field goal on the season. That would mean they'd have to get to the 13-yard line if we're going by that metric. They're at the 43 right now. 48 seconds left, 2 timeouts for Rancho Bernardo toward the end of the half. 10-0 Torrey Pines lead. Gage Weddle, shotgun to throw. Weddle, pressure, gets rid of the football, and they're going to rule it an incomplete pass. They say incomplete. Good pressure from Chris Peralta.
Yeah, and he had Bischoff, I guess, within the area, which is why you're not going to see an intentional grounding call. But I'm just exploding through that gap and just completely unchecked. And he knows that you have to wrap up Weddle if you want to have any chance at stopping him from making something out of it. And even then, he was still able to at least get rid of the football and set up a 3rd and 10 instead of a loss on the play.
42 seconds left in the half. 3rd down and 10 from the 43-yard line.
Oh, and it stops the clock, which is important.
It does. Yeah, sack means the clock's still running here. You're going to waste the timeout. 10-0 lead for Torrey Pines. RB football. Weddle. Pressured, gets rid of the football. It was tipped incomplete. Trying to find Christian Gonzalez. And it goes incomplete.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough time, but he also is not throwing the pass quick enough. I mean, every time he's holding the ball and he's just waiting. You know, I mean, he has a wide receiver wide open. He had Christian Gonzalez wide open before that and just waited for the route to develop. If he had just snapped and pitched it, Gonzalez would have had at least 5 or 6 yards. I think that Weddle was hoping that they could get all 10 out of that. I know it was 3rd down, but I mean, a 4th and 5 is better than a 4th and 10 if you're going to go for it.
Jaden Tong on the pressure. And now RB will call their 2nd timeout. So both teams are down to 1 timeout with 37 seconds left in the 2nd quarter.
By the way, Weddle really trying to explore some new fashion trends here. I like the one-sided cuffed pants. One side stays nice and warm, one side gets a little bit of the breeze. Keep you on your toes.
14 years in the NFL, 9, of course, here in San Diego.
Came out of retirement to win a Super Bowl with the Rams. And by the way, he was not going to say yes to coming out of retirement. It took some convincing from some of his confidants, all here in San Diego, by the way, to end up signing that contract. And boy, what a decision that was.
Going to be a great one. They win the World Series. The Super Bowl victory for the Rams that year.
And then he comes down here and he's put on Coach McCoy's coaching staff, and within 2 games they said, sir, you're going to be our head coach next year.
3 years in now for Eric Weddle, the Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, Gage looks confused because whatever play they were asking him to call, apparently he doesn't have on his play sheet. That's what he was referencing to his dad in the sideline, but we'll see if they can find a way to clean up the communication here, especially after a timeout. Not the sight you want to see if you're a Broncos fan.
37 seconds remaining in the half. Weddle stepping up, gets rid of it, pass, completed the sideline. Was he inbounds? Yes! It's a completed pass to Hugo Gonzalez. A first down to stop the clock, but 28 seconds left in the half.
My goodness, Gage Weddle giving everybody a heart palpitation. I mean, 2 defenders colliding, and there was the smallest possible window for that ball to fit. And somehow, not only did it fit, but Hugo Gonzalez was able to reel it in with ease.
Got 2 feet in. How about that?
Which, by the way, you don't need to do in high school, but it's good. If an NFL scout was in the building, they would say, Hugo Gonzalez, you are a step closer to getting to the league.
Now Valencia in the backfield with Weddle on 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. 3 wide. Weddle on 1st down. Pressured up the middle. Going for the end zone this time. It's tipped up into the air and incomplete. Trying to get to Trey Durham in the end zone. Incomplete.
You know, the first thought when you see Weddle out in space like that is he should run, but with 20 seconds left and only 1 timeout, he'd rather the clock stop or throw a touchdown pass than run and be put down inbounds, because then the clock has to go and you have to burn your timeout. And then what happens if you stay in bounds and then the clock keeps going and so it was actually very smart for Weddle to throw that football. I know it was in double coverage, but luckily it wasn't picked off, and again, the clock stops here with 20.6.
Carter Rose, Kingston Bankston with the coverage.
And by the way, Kingston Bankston, somebody who you're going to want to keep in the back of your mind for the next 2 years here in San Diego. He's on the SDUT Top 100 Players to Watch list for this year, and somebody who is poised for a breakout season in the secondary.
Junior for Torrey Pines. 2nd down and 10. Weddle throws far side. It's complete. This is Gonzalez who gets out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. A gain of 6, stopping the clock with 14 seconds remaining. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, good move right here. Playing the sidelines. You don't want to burn that timeout if you don't have to here with 14 seconds. So you go find your best athlete at the wide receiver position. You get him in space and you just direct him to get out of bounds, setting up a 3rd and 4.
14 seconds left. 1 timeout for Rancho Bernardo. Ball at the 18-yard line. It's Valencia in the backfield with Weddle. Gonzalez and Sella to the left. They go to Gonzalez right at the 5-yard line, incomplete to Hugo Gonzalez. Probably would have been out of bounds shy of the goal line, but what an opportunity.
And you'll see Kingston Bankston right here, right before that ball glides to Hugo Gonzalez. It looked like he may have had a chance to tip the pass right there, but actually he didn't. It was just a tad out of Gonzalez's reach, and at 5'10", if he was 6'1", that ball's caught.
All right, so it's 4th down here and 4. The decision is to either try the field goal with 9.8 seconds left, or to go for it on 4th down. And Rancho Bernardo will call their final timeout of the half.
Which means you're probably you're probably kicking the field goal. Because why would you not save your final timeout if you decide to go for it and don't stop the clock but get the first down.
We'll see what the decision is from Eric Weddle here, coming out of the timeout on 4th and 4 from the 18. Down by 10 points, one of which is a field goal opportunity.
He is talking to the offense, though. I mean, this is a coach who is so unafraid to be aggressive and to win games. To win games where you're trailing 10-0, you have to be aggressive. And that's the NFL mindset. I mean, you play to win no matter what, and Coach Weddle is instilling that culture here at Rancho Bernardo. So, yeah, the analytics, throw them out the window. You know, what I know, throw it out the wall. I don't know much, so it doesn't matter. But I like the idea here of going for it regardless of what the highest percentage of getting points on the board is for this situation, because 3 points isn't going to win you this game.
So 9.8 left to go.
Well, they're going to kick it, Jack.
Hugo Gonzalez is going to be the holder. Aiden Wood will come on to kick things away. The junior 1 for 1 from 30 yards. This one's going to be from 35. It is kick on the way. It is up, and it is good. So 10-3, Rancho Bernardo's on the board with 5 seconds left in the half.
All right, well, negate my entire monologue about being aggressive before. Take the points, and guess what? They did, and it worked. So now you're down by a possession. 5.3 to go. Just clean up the return. And if there's time to run another play, just make sure that you keep everybody in front of you. Don't give up the big play touchdown to end the half. Get to halftime. I think you look up at the scoreboard, considering you have a turnover on downs, you have a fumble on the return, and you have an interception. You're sitting pretty okay right now if you're the Broncos. The caveat, Torrey Pines does receive that second half kickoff.
Torrey Pines will receive here and then receive again after halftime. Ryan Franklin will kick it away. And they'll take it at the 5-yard line. Anderson. A return out to about the 20, and that's going to do it for our first half. So it's a one-score contest in the break. 10-3 in favor of Torrey Pines. The Falcons capitalizing on a couple of turnovers to get 10 points late and lead it by a touchdown heading into halftime. We are coming on back to Rancho Bernardo here tonight, our top 15 matchup of the North County CIF San Diego section game of the week, brought to you by TVX Sports Video.
San Diego High School football is going live. Starting Friday, August 29th, the San Diego section will be partnering with TVX Sports Video to broadcast one high school matchup every week for free on YouTube, YurView San Diego, and Cox Cable.
Friday, September 12th, Granite Hills travels to face Mission Hills on the San Diego section game of the week. Watch live on YouTube at TVX Sports Video, Cox Channel 4, and YurView, California.
(10-3) halftime. Torrey Pines on top of Rancho Bernardo with the break. Falcons will see first here on the road. Both of these teams 2-0 to start the year. Now, if the D1 playoffs a year ago, and 2-0 to start this season. Jack Cronin, Jonathan Mifkin with you. Halftime in this contest, Jonathan, a week ago, started out our coverage. Lincoln and Long Beach Poly. What a game that was. Lincoln racing out to the early lead. Long Beach Poly coming on back late.
Yeah, 35-0 at halftime, turning to a 35-14 finish. And, well, it was definitely a game abundant with big plays. Let's see how it went.
Jonathan Mendoza, who had the only points last week for Long Beach Poly. He's going to kick things away, and here we go. 12 on the clock in our opening quarter of play. Curtis will take the initial touch across the 20. Curtis across the 30-yard line now, and still going. Curtis still going on the opening kick of the game to the house.
Well, that's the way to start the football game, Jack. Junior Curtis bobbles the opening kickoff. You think he's going to get pushed to the sideline, but his explosiveness and his speed takes over. And all you need at this level is just a crease, and he does just that and takes it to the house.
2 chances to pick up the first down and more. 3rd and less than a yard. Curtis splits out. Handoff for Robinson. He's got it plus more. He's still going. Rashad Robinson. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Rashad Robinson. Tough running there. Real low center of gravity. Breaks a few tackles. And he does the rest and gets in the end zone. Great individual effort there by Robinson.
4 go to the right side for Roa. Empty backfield for the Hornets. Roa rolling that way. Now coming back to the other side. Firing away for Robinson. Who makes the catch into the end zone for the second time. What a play.
Beautiful play call by Lincoln. They had 4 wide receivers split out to the far side of the field. They snuck Robinson underneath, made him look like he was blocking at first, but he just runs a nice underneath wheel route.
6'2", 170 going to Georgia. This is Rashad Robinson, who's already got 2 touchdowns, and he breaks free. Looking for that hat trick into the end zone. Got it.
But that was one of the most incredible individual efforts I've seen in a long time in high school football. That was an incredible run by Rashad Robinson. He is so tough to bring down, so tough to tackle. He gave a little Tyreek Hill peace sign there.
36-7, now 58 seconds remaining in the half. 3rd and 13. Jefferson to throw. Pass complete to the far side. This one into the end zone. Touchdown. Jaden Coley. Back-to-back drives for the Jackrabbits. And they're into the end zone.
Jaden Coley just running a drag route over the middle and underneath. And they tried to get the linebacker to chip him a bit or make him redirect his route. But he's so fast and so athletic. A great job by Deuce Jefferson just hitting him in stride.
Fun one a week ago at Lincoln, overlooking downtown San Diego. And the Hornets, the number 1 team in the San Diego section, last year's Open Division and State champions for the second time in 3 years, get the victory over Great Long Beach Poly squad.
Yeah, it was a really good litmus test for a Lincoln team that started off their year 2-0, and they're playing all out of San Diego section schools in the pre-conference, really trying to elevate. Once they get into conference play, you got that game against Cathedral in week number 9 of the season that could really decide the Open Division seeding. So they're challenging themselves and rising to the challenge, and that led us here tonight to a very interesting and a completely different tone in this first half between Rancho Bernardo and Torrey Pines. Last week was 35 points in the first half. This week is 13.
13 combined points and a 10-3 lead for Torrey Pines, as the defense is dominated early before the Falcons really broke through at the end of that half, thanks to a couple of turnovers. Let's get to know these 2 teams better. In our top 15 matchup tonight, Torrey Pines and Rancho Bernardo. We'll turn things over to Tommy Morris.
Coach Weddle and I were talking Sunday night about just how fun it is to play, and 2 physical football teams that just fly to the football, and we'll have 11 people there, and they'll have 11 people there.
This is a program that's been successful, won a lot over the years, and I have admiration and respect for Coach Ashby and the job he does. I really look up to him and a lot of the coaches in the area.
And so that conversation last week, I'm assuming no more communication after that, or how does it work? Like week of the game.
Week of the game. I mean, we talked Sunday night just briefly, but not really during the week. And I just let him know how much fun it is to watch his son as a fan. not as a coach.
That's, again, one of those two-way guys he probably wish was not two ways.
Oh, boy, he's a special athlete. And they've got some really good athletes. They got some really, really good linemen this year. So,
Yeah, I was going to ask you, offense opening up a little bit. I think a lot of it has to do with your quarterback not being a freshman anymore. Now it's sophomore, as you mentioned before this, full off season. So what has the evolution of this offense felt like from your perspective as a coach?
Well, we have a lot of new guys starting or first-time varsity experience on the offense and defense. 11 guys that I counted week one that are taking their varsity snaps. So it's you're trying to ease those guys in there, get confidence, get their feet wet, and to do that, you put more on the plate of your experienced guys, and we do that. We have a lot of experience with the quarterback and learning from last year, and now growing into that role and that leadership role. And I put all on his plate to make the right decision and help out the other guys, and he's done that pretty well so far.
And it seems like a pretty strong junior class for you guys this year. Last year, I think a handful of them got to play as sophomores. So what's it been like seeing them mature from sophomores to now upperclassmen? It's
really fun. We're starting 10 of 11 of our varsity offense have never played a varsity snap. And then the quarterback's a junior who played 6 games. Same on the defense. We have seniors playing, but they didn't play a lot as a junior. So I think on the defense, 8 out of the 11 had never played a varsity snap. So it's really fun to watch these last 2 weeks, how we've gotten better and getting to the standard that we need to meet.
And it's got to be fun, too, seeing the improvement happen fast for guys who didn't get that many reps last year. So what normally by week what do you really know what you have in some of these guys? How long does it sort of take to figure out?
I'd say after about week 2, week 3, you have a really good feel. And, our guys have really stepped up and worked hard in the offseason and are really putting it together. And it's fun to watch them fly to the football. I mean, we had some clips last week. And
you're in a unique spot, too, because you're not just coach, you're dad. So what is it like having to be coach and dad? How do you break it in half, or is it like a schizophrenic thing? You're one guy at one point, and you're another guy at the other point. How do you like manage that?
Well, my last year was difficult, if I'm being honest. Never being able to give them positive reinforcement or show affection in public because of everyone's looking at us and looking at him. And I can handle that. I can handle the pressure. I can have the negativity and people talking about me. But when it's about your son, and having to go through it as a 15-year-old was hard to see. So this year, I'm not going to be apologetic for coaching my son, and it just so happens one of our best players is my son. It's not my problem. And people will eventually realize that everything that he does and what he receives is because of his hard work and how he plays and how great of a teammate he is. So this year has been amazing. I coach him harder than anybody else, and when he has goals and aspirations to be the best, and he welcomes it.
What do you think has been the biggest improvements that you guys have made from 24 to 25?
I'll tell you, I'm really proud of our offensive coaches. They put a lot of time in the offseason, revamping the entire offense, redoing all the rules, redoing everything to make it a cleaner offense where the kids can understand what it is they're supposed to do and what their rules are. And the kids are executing really well right now.
And a double pass last week, too. That went pretty well. Any other tricks up the sleeve, or we'll have to find out?
You're going to have to find out. But, yeah, there's always tricks.
All right, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Good luck out there.
Yes, thank you.
And obviously you had a long NFL career, but what's more nerve-wracking, a Sunday in the NFL or having to coach your son on a Friday night?
It's Friday nights is easy in my when I relate the two. A lot more pressure per se in the NFL just because it's your job, and if you don't play well, you don't have a job. So out here we make the preparation, we work hard during the week, we study, and then Friday nights I just play loose. I'm loose. I'm trying to inspire. I'm trying to instill confidence in them and make the right decisions. But at the end of the day, the players, you win because of the players, you lose because of bad coaching. So anybody that tells you otherwise is full of it.
I appreciate that, Coach. Yep. Good luck this week. We'll see you on Friday night.
You got it, man. Thank you.
San Diego High School football is going live. Starting Friday, August 29th, the San Diego section will be partnering with TVX Sports Video to broadcast one high school matchup every week for free on YouTube, YurView San Diego, and Cox Cable.
Friday, September 12th, Granite Hills travels to face Mission Hills on the San Diego section Game of the Week. Watch live on YouTube at TVX Sports Video, Cox Channel 4, and YurView, California.
Beautiful night here in San Diego. Torrey Pines and Rancho Bernardo under the moonlights in the North County.
Yeah, right now both these teams as far away from the moon as possible, but one of them is trying to get elevated as high as the moon in the sky. 10-3 here at halftime, Jack, and you know, it's an interesting energy. It almost parallels the energy that we saw last year between these two teams. Torrey Pines put up 54 points in week 1 against a very good La Jolla defense. Last week they put over 40 points, or 35 points up on a pretty decent, but maybe a little bit undersized San Pasqual team. And then here tonight, only 10 points in the first half. And by the way, they're +3 in turnovers, and they're only up by a touchdown. So it is definitely a fascinating style of football that we're watching here this evening.
Back and forth in that first half. The defense has got the better of the play in the first quarter, and then with Torrey Pines being the interception followed by the fumble recovery on special teams to turn that into the 10 points for Rancho Bernardo. Got the last second field goal as well. By the way, the 49-yard field goal was the first score of the game. Clark Dakar, the junior kicker for Torrey Pines, put up a 49-yarder before the Miller brothers combined for the touchdown.
Yeah, it was a little bit of everything. Again, good special teams, nice offense. Both defenses have been playing well. I think if you're Torrey, or rather if you're Rancho Bernardo, again, you just have to find a way to, number one, either have Gage Weddle release the football faster or just get him more time. Because, again, the problem is that when you become accustomed and when your players on the field become accustomed to your quarterback playing hero almost every play to try and keep the drive alive and the play going, it's a dangerous precedent to set. You want this guy to have as much protection. You want the play to be executed as called. And I think Rancho Bernardo needs to do a little bit of a better job in that second half of just trying to execute their game plan and not getting too tied up in what Torrey Pines is doing, and also getting too tied up in the jaw-dropping, awe-inspiring moments that Gage Weddle can bring when he's on the football field.
Torrey Pines is going to receive the kickoff here to begin the second half. And Weddle will lead the offense back onto the field for Rancho Bernardo, down by 7, when they eventually get the ball themselves.
Yeah, I think the second half, the defensive adjustments right now are just to keep playing stout and strong. You know, Rancho Bernardo has no flags. We have seen, I believe, just one. Oh, check that. We have seen 2 flags. We have seen a false start on Torrey Pines, and we saw the illegal hit. So Rancho Bernardo does have a flag. It was a late hit out of bounds on the quarterback, Blake Miller, who, thank goodness, he was okay. That went against Hugo Gonzalez. But other than that, 1 flag on both teams. I guess 2 flags because of delay a game on Torrey Pines. So 3 flags total in that first half. Clean first half. Defense is playing well. It's just going to come to the offenses to find some ingenuity to get into the end zone a few more times.
So we look back at this first half here with Torrey Pines on top 10-3. Villegas getting things started for the Falcons, bringing them down inside the 10-yard line for Torrey Pines. They ran that I formation, and then they get the stop here, RB, right at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, a little fullback fade right there. And then on the keeper, the defense standing strong. Nowhere to go.
Following that, we switched sides, and it was Weddle who keyed what was going to be a pretty promising drive. Carrying the football, throwing for first downs, and then stepping up for this one-handed interception. Cannot believe it, from Henry Kendall, who's wearing the club on his entire left arm and reaches up with his right hand to get the interception. That's the play of the game so far.
I mean, I don't know how you can surpass that play. I mean, Gage Weddle had some amazing heroics evading defenses, but that right there was still the awe-inspiring moment of the first half. Until this 49-yard field goal attempt.
49 yards.
Unbelievable.
Don't see too many of that in high school.
And here's that fumble that changed everything. Rancho Bernardo, the previous drive, went for 60 yards and threw an interception. Torrey Pines scores the touchdown, and then on the ensuing return, a pivotal fumble right here. Jarred loose by the helmet of Dylan Cameron on the special teams, and Torrey Pines would recover and set them up in very good field position at about the 35-yard line of the Broncos. And then this was Blake Miller rolling left and finding his brother Logan, evading the defense on the slant and untethered into the end zone for the first and only touchdown of that first half.
It's a cross-field play.
By the way, the last 3 plays, we said that two plays ago, the one-handed catch was the play of the game. Then between the field goal and that throw,
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I'm telling you, no. The interception with one arm.
It's unbelievable.
Just ridiculous.
And then this, the ability to evade 2 potential sacks, to make the throw. This was a 26-yard gain, the longest of the first half for RB.
It set them up for what eventually would be the field goal try. They got this one down to the 25-yard line, getting both feet in bounds with a catch from Hugo Gonzalez, and then the field goal right at the end of the half to make it a 10-3 game.
RB got some momentum there down the stretch, Jack. 2 really important plays by Gage to move them down the field, and then the field goal to at least cap off that drive and send them into the half with some points on the board, which, by the way, they had to pick up the slack of their JV team, who lost 28-0 in the earlier game of our matinee this evening. Not on Channel 4, by the way, so if you're wondering why you didn't see it, that's why. But it was 28-0 with about 5 seconds left. RB's JV team was at the half-yard line, and Torrey Pines came up with a game-ending goal line stand to keep the goose egg on the board for Rancho Bernardo's JV team. So luckily, at least the varsity team was able to break the goose egg and put 3 up in that first half.
Yeah, nicely done by the JV squad to get the shutout. Nicely done.
It's hard to pitch a shutout at any level
That's right.
here in high school football in San Diego.
So Rancho Bernardo's going to kick off, and Torrey will receive with a 7-point advantage in the second half for the Falcons. 10-3.
A stop on this first drive, assuming that Torrey Pines doesn't fumble the football away or there's some onside kick. If Torrey Pines does indeed start with the football after the ensuing kickoff, this is a big moment for the RB defense. This is the make it or break it. Yes, there's an entire 2 quarters to play, and it might feel a little premature as the Torrey Pines faithful are trying to shake off the halftime calorie intake to get that energy for the second half. But it's a prove it point for that defense here in this first drive, because if you can stop Torrey Pines to open up the second half down by a possession and get the ball back to your offense, that's the confidence as a defense that you can bring to your offense. And so far, this RB defense time and time again has stepped up here in this first half to the challenge. It's up to the offense to try and convert thereafter, but again, if Torrey Pines receives this ball cleanly and does start with their first drive of this second half, it is a huge moment for this RB defense to try and get that drive to stop.
So here we go. 12 more minutes of the clock in the third quarter.
And the second half is underway.
And the kick taken by Dominic Roca. And tripped up nicely at the 15-yard line. Fine stop on special teams for Cole Bishop, the junior.
And Bishop and Brady Savage were both making good gains right there on the returner, Roca. And it felt like he had some space, and then you'll see right out, there he is, Mr. Bishop, saying checkmate there on the 15.
So Blake Miller will bring the offense back onto the field.
But again, you get to halftime with a field goal.
Yeah.
If your defense can get a stop here, the momentum is swaying back on your side. There's some hope, there's some energy. You're only down by a possession. Again, looking up at the scoreboard, being -3 in the turnovers after the first half, being down by a possession, I think you're pretty grateful if you're the boys in blue and white.
Torrey Pines is mixing things up here, guys running across the field. Everybody's in place now. 5 wide empty backfield for Blake Miller to start the half. On first down, pressure comes. He's hit as he throws. It's complete to Logan. And across the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Number 82, Logan Miller, hit first by number 34, Cal Grandinetti.
It'll be second down.
Cal Grandinetti was there, the sophomore, one of the lone sophomore in the defensive unit here for Rancho Bernardo. And yeah, you saw that linebacker blitz coming. You mentioned Miller got hit as he threw, but good job by his brother to get to his spot quick enough for his brother to find him before getting hit.
Second down. And off Roca. Well, good as second efforts. That is going to carry him to the first down. He gets out to the 26-yard line. That's a gain of 4 and a first down.
Yeah, don't skip leg day, kids. That's why, because you never know. And by the way, did you see the sportsmanship right there? That was so lovely to see. One of the RB players just went to check on Roca, who's at the bottom of that pile, to make sure he was okay.
That's awesome.
That's what this is really about at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, you keep those, you got to hit the legs, because in moments like this, you're the one who has to stand strong. You got to hold up all of the weight that's on top of you and try to keep pushing that line to try and get that first down, and Roca was able to.
Out of the shotgun, Blake Miller. Pressured, sets it up for Roca, but it's incomplete. Well, there was a lot of blue and white in the backfield there.
You know, it almost seems like that would have been the better scenario. I know it's not a backwards pass, so it's fine that it's an incompletion. Had it been a backwards pass, it would have been a fumble and wouldn't have been as good of a best-case scenario. But here, I mean, under pressure, I think it was supposed to be a screen pass, but the defense collapsed too quickly, and I think Roca was thinking about maybe protecting himself prior to actually making the grab, and that's why he dropped it. But again, had he made that catch, he would have gotten lit up in the backfield. They would have lost at least 2 yards.
Lucas Winkler, great Davis commit on the offensive line, doing some damage defensively as well. Second down and 10 for Torrey Pines. 10:34 to go, third quarter, 10-3 Falcons. Miller sets it up over the middle. There is the screen, but again, it's going to be stopped immediately. Gavin Valencia in on the stop.
Well, the team's leading tackler from a season ago, continuing that motif here in 2025, and you mentioned it. I mean, the line did their job on the screen pass, but nobody did their job. There's 3 white jerseys right there, and somehow Gavin Valencia is able to walk right through the front door and steal bread out of the bread basket.
10 minutes to play in the third. Third down and 8 after that screen play. Valencia on the tackle. Came in with 30 on the year in the first 2 games. 132 last season. High formation. Third down and 8. Miller, quick throw, incomplete. Trying to find Banu. Silas Christensen with the coverage.
Silas knew it too. I was watching number 7 the whole time on that play. There was just no room, and when they run out of the eye and they throw, we have only seen Miller go right. And they do it because they want him to get off the pass quick, but even though Christensen's a solid 4 inches smaller than Logan Miller, who was the intended receiver, again, you just have to know where to be. And he was in the right place at the right time, and now Torrey Pines has to call an early second half timeout here on 4th and 8, Jack.
9:41 still to go in the third. That's the first timeout for either side. Torrey Pines on 4th down and 8 will be looking at a punt and has to call timeout.
Yeah, if I'm Torrey Pines right now, I'm punting this football. You know, we talk about how important this defensive stop is for Rancho Bernardo, because you got to get the ball into your offense's hands. There's confidence. I know it's early in the half, but you know, if I'm Torrey Pines, the defense has played so well. I don't know why you would risk giving up field position, especially out of 2 of the 5 drives in that first half. We saw RB operate in Torrey Pines in Torrey Pines side of the field.
This is going to be Dominic Roca who's going to kick, with Silas Christensen back to receive. On 4th down, 8 from the 28-yard line, out of the timeout. It's a high snap. Roca gets it away. It'll be a shorter end-over-end kick and take an RB bounce to about the 49-yard line. So they'll start in positive territory.
Yeah, bad snap. Not that that kick was probably going to go much further, but Roca, who is not a natural punter, still had to go on the move. Got way too much under that football, all of the backspin in the world, and just did not go the way of the Falcons. Now if you're RB, you get the ball. They actually moved it back to the 50-yard line. But you got the ball with a short field. Go and do your best to take advantage here.
Credit the RB defense getting a stop in the first drive of the second half.
And again, that's pivotal because it sets the tone. Now we'll see if the offense can reward that defensive stand.
Gage Weddle. And the handoff. First carry just across midfield there for Max Marshall, the running back, the sophomore, who gets the carry and takes it to the 45-yard line, a gain of 5.
Yeah, Marshall is a little bit more built than some of the other running backs. Gavin Valencia, who's 6'0 and 160 pounds, but a good job on the right side, blocking well, slipping through the gap and pushing the pile for a solid gain of 5.
Second down and 5 now for RB.
Oh, both pants have become cuffed now for Coach Weddle, so things are heating up on the sideline.
Okay. Second and 5 from the 45-yard line of the Falcons. Bronco football, throwing to the far side. Pass is caught. That's Christian Gonzalez, and he's got the first down.
It's made by number 4, Christian Gonzalez. Bringing up for another.
Oh, the leading receiver finally making a grab here to get the first down. He's had a couple of targets. And just one-on-one coverage far side. Perfect turn and a great throw right where those thumbs meet to make sure he can grab it. And some change at the end of that play to get the first down and put that ball at the 35. Oh, but we're back to one cuff. So 2 plays ago he had 2 cuffs up, and now we're back to the 1 cuff for Coach Weddle. And now there's the second cuff. So clearly one pant leg is just not cooperating.
First down and 10 from the 35. Rolling, Weddle, squaring up and throwing downfield, but incomplete. Trying to get it to Trey Durham. Incomplete.
Intended for number 85, Trey Durham.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much doing there. Telegraph pass out to the left. Line was shifting that way, so he was going to roll out anyways. And there were just 2 men in the coverage, regardless of the ball being overthrown. I mean, this offense was rolling when it was quick pitch and catch. I'd like to see more of that. Get Gage a little bit closer to the center. Get those receivers off the line quick. Have them up the middle on slants. Have a seam, have a post, and just pitch and catch your way down this field, because that seems to be when they're their most effective.
That was part of that big drive before the interception, was those quick passes, not allowing the defense to get into the backfield. Good, quick slant routes for positive yardage. Now Weddle working out of the shotgun. Hand off Valencia. Up the middle. Valencia powering his way forward for 9 yards.
Number 3, Gavin Valencia, the ball carrier.
Good explosion from Gavin Valencia from behind the line. And again, this line has done a great job of opening up that gap. You'll see he didn't have to move at all. Plenty of room. I mean, there was a blocker who didn't have anybody to block. That's how much room there was. Valencia hitting that hole hard, keeping his head down, and getting a chunk of 9 out of it.
Marshall doing a good job to power his way forward, falling forward for positive yardage. Valencia, same thing. He gets 9. It's 3rd and 1. Weddle out of the shotgun. They give it right back to Valencia. Diving forward, he should have the first down here to the 25-yard line. They will move the chain. So it's back-to-back carries for Gavin Valencia, the senior.
Yeah, good, patient running for the senior at 6 feet from behind. Good handoff, and again, you're just looking for the crease. Surveying, found the hole right there. Drive the shoulder to the bigger lineman and push him forward for the first down. Great physical running for Gavin Valencia.
Gage Weddle now on a first down opportunity from the 25-yard line. Play action to Valencia this time. He rolls out, fires, gets hit. Deep downfield, incomplete. He's trying to get it to Brody Sella, but Weddle got hit on that play as he released the football.
He wanted a late hit, but it was really happening as that ball was coming across the plane, and he even just acknowledged that was his mistake to the sideline, tapping his chest twice.
7:29 to play in the third. 10-3, Torrey Pines, Rancho Bernardo driving. Weddle. And up to Marshall around the far side. Marshall stopped at about the 22-yard line for a gain of 3.
Yeah, Marshall's being worked in well. I mean, he's a big, more power back than what we're used to seeing from Valencia. They run him to the strong side of the line, and oh, what a great shot right there. Watching the sophomore just drill right through the defense and into the chest of Henry Kendall, who's 180 pounds at the linebacker position. Try and set them up for a 3rd and about 7 here, Jack. Under 7 to go in the 3rd.
From the 22-yard line. 4 wide for Weddle. To Gonzalez for the moment, who lines up in the backfield. Now he goes in motion. Weddle taking off and running. Weddle stopped across the 20 to the 17-yard line. Great job one-on-one by Reese Goldberger.
I mean, Weddle wanted to throw and he got jaded. It was one-on-one on the far side. Great coverage for Torrey Pines by Shawayan Sagai on the far side. That forced Weddle to have to get creative, but that time unable to evade the defense. And Torrey Pines comes up with a stop here, but you know this Coach Weddle team is not going to want to stop on 4th down and short inside the red zone.
4th down and 2 from the 17. They are in field goal range. We're going for it here on 4th down and 2. Hugo Gonzalez in the backfield, 4 wide. Gage Weddle on 4th down. Waiting. Steps up, throws for Gonzalez into the end zone. Touchdown! Gage Weddle to Hugo Gonzalez, an extra point away from tying things up.
Oftentimes, coaches tell you that if you're going to throw the ball, throw the ball. This time, though, Gage thought about throwing the ball and smartly held back and waited. I mean, he was about going right there, and then he said, you know what? I'm going to run through this hole and give you some extra time to stride into the end zone, where Hugo Gonzalez was able to secure it for a 2nd touchdown this season. And just like that, the Bucking Broncos are a PAT away from tying this thing up.
Great drive from Rancho Bernardo. The kick is good. It's 10 apiece with 5:39 left to play. We are tied.
And it goes back to our conversation, Jack, coming out of halftime. Why was Rancho Bernardo's defense, why was it so important for them to get that stop?
Yes.
Because you wanted your defense to instill this momentum, energy, and hope in their offense, because they kept getting stop after stop in this game. Well, if you open the second half with a stop against the team that's receiving, who's beating you, in theory, there should be a little bit extra of motivation. And guess what? Gage Weddle and this offense went marching from the 50-yard line. They took advantage, and on 4th and 2, they rewarded that fantastic defense that was able to stifle Torrey Pines by getting 7 on the board. And what was once a 2-possession game is now tied up here in the 3rd.
So both teams with 10 unanswered points during stretches of this contest. They're tied up at 10 apiece. Roca will take it from the 3. Roca still going across the 30. And out across the 40-yard line. He'll go to the 43. What a return of 40 yards.
Great return. Very different than the last time he returned, where he only went 15 yards. And again, he recognized the wide side of the field. Nice stiff arm right there and some good blocking. Everybody was clean. No illegal blocks in the back. Final man got pushed out of bounds, which opened up some extra yardage. And Roca able to chug his way to a solid starting field position here for his offense at the 42.
Out of the shotgun, Blake Miller. Not much doing here, and they will actually give him a yard on a positive carry. Second down and 9.
Yeah, keep the line active if you're Rancho Bernardo. Everybody is doing such a great job of staying strong. But now it's Torrey Pines. I think that, they weren't playing too complicated offensively. It was somewhat rudimentary en route to the 10-0 lead. But now you have to, there we go. Now you have to start switching it up a little bit, and you see the audible called into an I formation trying to catch the defense sleeping.
Blake Miller under center. On 2nd down and 9. Hand off Villegas. And he'll take it to the 47. Gain of 4. This will be a 3rd and about 5 yards.
That's an interesting call. I think that they were hoping that the defense, who was playing more back towards the pass in this zone look, would continue that on the audible into the I formation, but the power run went right into the hands of the defense, and only a short gain, but 3rd and 5 is manageable, and if anybody can do it, it's Blake Miller in this offense. Brother lined up on the far side all alone.
Blake Miller's under center. Logan Miller to his left. High formation behind him. Pumps once, throws. Coming to their side, incomplete. Logan Bonu was the target, incomplete. And broken up by Silas Christensen.
All 4 times they've thrown out of the power I, they've thrown right. Every single time. And this time was no exception. I think that maybe Miller was looking to go up the middle, but his eyesight was cut off by the line, and thought he had a man out right, but a good closeout and some fast speed by Silas Christensen to break it up. Force the 4th down, and now we'll see if Mr. Christensen can reward himself with the punt return to set his team up well.
And that's Rancho Bernardo getting 2 stops to start the second half. They have converted 1 into a touchdown. Roca keeping it himself. He'll go for the fake. Roca on the punt all the way around. Did he get it? He's out of bounds. Where are they going to mark him? It is right there for the 1st down. It's going to be a 1st down, the fake punt for Torrey Pines.
Brilliant and scary, but you can't win without taking risks. It was a high snap, but it didn't matter. This was the play the whole time. Rocco shading to his right, made the grab, turned on the Jets. Defense wasn't ready, and about a yard beyond that line to gain for a 1st down. Well executed by the special teams, and really, it was the offense, not even the special teams, who was out there to do it.
So they convert on the fake punt by Dominic Roca. At 10 apiece. Tied up here. Miller, quick toss, Banu. And he'll get another 1st down to the 24-yard line. The quick gain is 17 and a 1st down.
Yeah, haven't seen a ton of Banu here tonight, only his 2nd reception, but it's an impactful one, and Torrey Pines now trying to put some pressure on this RB defense. Great play action, freeing up the time. You can see that Weddle, who was in the middle of that line, was playing up, and everybody else was shading left. That freed up the right side, and some extra yardage there from Banu at the wide receiving position.
1st down and 10, 35-yard line. Handoff Villegas. Villegas stopped in the backfield. It's Marshall who's there. It'll be a loss of 1 on the play as Rancho Bernardo gets into the backfield.
Yeah, this is a big bruiser up front for RB and Max Marshall, just a sophomore, but he's a 6-foot, 200-pound linebacker, and you could see, just a brick wall, unable to be moved.
Marshall's going to be a good player. Already is. 2:38 to go in the 3rd quarter. 10 apiece, Miller to throw. Going to the far side. Oh, it's going to be caught. Hauled in by Banu again. Another catch on the drive.
Well, for the first time in 4 tries out of this I formation, Blake Miller throws it left, and it worked. Great job. He recognized the man-on-man on the far side, kept it over to Banu's back shoulder, and look at this turn and grab. Good defending, but you got to turn around and see where the ball is. That could be pass interference because he didn't, but it didn't matter because Banu made the grab, and what a grab it was to put his team inside the red zone.
Miller's going to throw off his back foot there, still to give there plenty of time.
That was Henry Kendall, by the way, on the defense, who seemed as though he made some contact before the catch was made.
And Villegas. And Villegas to the 10-yard line. 2:21 remaining.
Yeah, nothing too complicated. Simple draw here. Give your line some time to split the gaps, and your running back an extra time to recognize where that space is going to be. But when you're inside the red zone and you're playing towards the end of the third, you're not too hastened to try and punch that ball in. You want to utilize the time that you have here to be meticulous, trying to milk this clock.
Principe, the fullback, in front of Villegas. Villegas gets the carry and breaks one tackle to get positive yards on the play itself. Down to the 8-yard line, it'll be 3rd and 3 from the 8.
I know it's only a 2-yard gain, but that second effort means everything. And for a guy who's only 5'10 and substantially smaller than the guys who are trying to stop him on the other side of the line, that was a valiant effort. And also, a 3rd and 3 is much different than a 3rd and 5. I mean, look at the second effort. There were 2 guys on top of him. He probably had about 550 pounds that he was able to carry on his back to get those extra 2 yards.
10 apiece, a minute to go in the third quarter. Torrey Pines driving. Blake Miller. Play action, Miller to throw for the end zone. It's incomplete. Broken up on the play by Cal Grandinetti.
Yeah, Kevin Jackson, the tall tight end, had his hands up, and he looked down, and the ball wasn't in there. I like this, though. Good job by Miller. You fake the handoff, and then it looks like it's going to be a screen pass because the line doesn't block, so you hope that opens up some space, and a good job. I think the pinky got on the end of that ball there by Cal Grandinetti, the sophomore in coverage.
So it forces Torrey Pines to attempt the field goal to try and go back up by 3. The kick is on the way, and it is good. Second field of the day for Clark DeCarr.
If you're RB's
57
defense,
seconds left to go.
Sorry about that, Jack. If you're RB's defense, I mean, you're pretty happy with that result, especially with the fact that the offense just came off the field having scored a touchdown. So you limit the damage to just the field goal. Your offense comes on the field. There's still a small chunk of this third quarter left in an entire fourth quarter for a team that has done a pretty good job of maintaining time of possession in this game. So, you know, you play slow, you play meticulous, you make sure that you continue to get positive yards. I mean, you could be in the end zone with only 7 minutes left in this game if all the cards fall in the right place. Put the pressure on Torrey Pines.
Fake punt leads to 3 points. Instead of giving Rancho Bernardo the ball back, we wind up with a field goal and regain the lead. Here it is, kick on the way. And we've taken at the 1-yard line by Silas Christensen. Christensen coming cross field. Trying to find the edge at the 30, cuts it back, still on his feet. Christensen across the 40, lost the football at the end. Looks like Rancho Bernardo got it after the fumble at the 42-yard line.
What a chaotic sequence.
It's Max Marshall who recovered the fumble.
Wait, the sophomore has had more involvement in this game than I think he would have realized with the game plan. Another good return here by Christensen, showing the speed on the wide side, but great blocking. I mean, freeing up the sideline right there, and that's where the danger happened. He tried to toe his way through, evading some tackles, and then right there, boom, the hit. There's actually a bit of friendly fire right there, running into his own guy, Brandon Kendrow, the sophomore who plays a bit of linebacker and tight end, and I think his elbow along with the hit forced that ball out.
Robbie does recover. They avoid a second turnover on special teams to keep possession now. And they're on 42-yard line, trailing by 3. It's 13-10. Torrey Pines. And off. This is Marshall. And Marshall will take it to the 44-yard line, a gain of 2 on first down.
Yeah, I think if you're RB, again, positive yards, small chunks, don't turn over the football, try to get this clock as far down as you can. Torrey Pines has to go an entire fourth quarter in what right now is a one-possession football game with 2 timeouts. That is a caveat that has to be kept in mind because RB has the edge in that situation, and if this game comes down to clock management and execution, RB already is in the driver's seat when it comes to that battle.
Second down and 8. Final play of the third quarter. Weddle throws to the far side, incomplete. Trying to find Christian Gonzalez. So that will end the third quarter. 13-10. Torrey Pines out in front, but Rancho Bernardo driving. When we come back, the final 12 minutes here in the North County tonight's CIF San Diego section Game of the Week, brought to you by TVX Sports Video.
San Diego High School football is going live. Starting Friday, August 29th, the San Diego section will be partnering with TVX Sports Video to broadcast one high school matchup every week for free on YouTube, YurView San Diego, and Cox Cable.
Friday, September 12th, Granite Hills travels to face Mission Hills on the San Diego section Game of the Week. Watch live on YouTube at TVX Sports Video, Cox Channel 4, and YurView, California.
Touching me.
Torrey Pines and Rancho Bernardo here. A 3-point game to start the fourth quarter. The Falcons are in front, but the Broncos have the football. Jack Cronin, Jonathan Rifkin back with you here in Rancho Bernardo tonight.
They say kids these days don't know good music, but there's an entire stadium full of Generation Alpha singing this amazing song.
Great job.
They got a taste of music. Come on now. They also got good taste in football, Jack. How good is this game going into the fourth?
Two teams, both 2-0 coming into tonight.
Sweet Caroline, sung by Neil Diamond, right?
It is.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I like to say that I know good music, and I would be a hypocrite if I had made that claim and not known. If you're Rancho Bernardo, you're not settling for field goals here on this drive. You need to get into the end zone to begin the fourth quarter. But I think your focus, obviously, right now is converting this 3rd and 7.
Here we go, 3rd and long from the 44-yard line. Weddle. Pressured away to his right. Steps up and throws. It's going to be a first down catch. Trey Durham. Weddle extended that play forever and found a receiver to get the first down. Wow.
I mean, just when you think Gage Weddle is dead in his tracks, patience, speed, the belief in yourself that you're going to be able to get out of that. And then how about this move right here? A little sidestep, a little Euro step, and a little English on the pass to Mr. Trey Durham for the 11-yard gain. Oh, the ingenuity of an athlete playing quarterback. It can frustrate coaches sometimes, but it's certainly fun to watch.
That's darn right. 13-10. Here is Weddle to throw on first down this time. And again, he makes it up, gets it to Marshall. Marshall bowls over a defender, and he'll have the first down. Max Marshall having a game.
If there was an award in the San Diego section for the Magician of the Year, it would go to Gage Weddle. I mean, come on now. You're running yourself into harm's way and making a throw like that to get the first down? I mean, just go pull a rabbit out of the hat and take some rainbow handkerchiefs out of your pockets at this point, because you are a magician there on the gridiron.
That's been the most impressive part, right? The elusiveness, but eyes down the field, great footwork.
And the poise.
But the keeping his feet almost like very light back in the backfield and able to look downfield and not be worried about the pressure like this. Here is Marshall again. He's having a great contest inside the 30 to the 29-yard line for Max Marshall.
Well, the truth is that it's fearlessness, right? The best players are not scared. And if you can be able to feel pressure, if you can take hits, especially as a sophomore who's still growing, I mean, it shows the fearlessness of Gage Weddle. As you see a great handoff and a perfect hold on the line. They are really utilizing Max Marshall out of the backfield here this evening, which they have not done in those first 2 weeks.
And Marshall's kind of like a closer here, bringing in a big guy, come in and just run downhill. 2nd down and 3 for Rancho Bernardo. 13-10. They trail by 3, but are driving inside the 30. Ball the 28-yard line. 2nd down. Gage Weddle. Throwing deep. looking for the end zone, and Gonzalez incomplete. And there'll be flags on the play.
Yeah, this was an obvious call by the officials. Nice right there by Gonzalez to check on these amazing folks who are taking pictures and trying to get content for these players and these teams and building their own resumes. Here's the pass interference call.
Pass interference, defense, number 39, 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, Shayan said the guy on defense. I mean, this was easy. You see it in real time. It was one-on-one coverage. He never turns around. You have to turn around and make a play on the ball as a defender. He kept his hands on Hugo Gonzalez the entire time, just pushing him. I mean, that is the easiest way to throw a flag, or to warrant a flag. And again, I'm glad to see that everybody's okay there on the sideline.
It moves the ball to the 14-yard line.
See, you go half the distance, and
first down and 10. Max Marshall in the backfield. Behind Weddle, who works shotgun, 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Hand off, Marshall. Marshall bowling his way forward again. Down to the 5. It will be a first down at the 4-yard line. 1st and goal for Rancho Bernardo.
Oh, force feed the hungry sophomore until he's full. Keep giving it to this guy. He's big, he's fast. The line is holding. I mean, his eyes are up the field. He's 6'2", and he was able to stay on his feet through multiple points of contact. That is so impressive. And now that they're and goal, now they just took him out of this set here. I would have just kept giving him the ball, but the sideline is so excited for him. It's his first year on varsity, and he is making plays that could change the outcome of this game for his team.
What a game for Max Marshall. Valencia's now in with Weddle. Weddle will take it and fire. High for Gonzalez, and I don't know where they're going to mark him. Yeah, back at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the short play. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
I was wondering if maybe there was a half a yard of forward progress. It's really relative at that point. See, this is, I know they're going to throw it again, or Gage is going to keep it, but this is where I would run it with your big running back.
Going to be Weddle to the far side, fighting his way to the goal line. He's down to the 1. So 3rd and goal upcoming from the 1-yard line after the carry for Gage Weddle.
It's a good run here from Gage. Again, I think that we all knew it was coming, but he's so athletic, it just doesn't matter. And I think you just keep doing it. Again, if you're not going to hand this ball off, and it's certainly to what looks like your goal line back, who's currently sitting on the sideline, then it's probably going to be the quarterback who keeps it. And you got 2 tries to get him in the end zone, but again, another good opportunity here to put himself as close as he could and set up a 3rd and a long fingernail.
Yeah, this is inside a yard. It's almost touching the goal line. Very close in on 3rd and goal. Weddle with Valencia behind him. And now a timeout for Rancho Bernardo, their first.
Yeah, now is the time to be meticulous. And by the way, we talked about this. Rancho Bernardo has the ball, and we're almost at the 7:30 mark. They've had the ball for the better part of 7 minutes. So again, it's really smart. You get out of the end of the 3rd quarter in possession. You continue to grind. You continue to try and circumnavigate through this Torrey Pines defense, the labyrinth that it has created. And Gage Weddle and this offense have marched all the way down to the half-yard line. And there's really not that much time left in this game. So this is where now you have to be as deliberate as you can with your play calling as a coaching staff. You just burned a pivotal timeout here with still plenty of time left in this game, but there's also not that much time left in this game. So you punch it in. Your defense has been playing well. Even if Torrey Pines scores, there should be, in theory, enough time for you to come back down and do some damage or try. But if they don't, I mean, the faith that you have in your defense, I think right now has to be second to none if you're this Rancho Bernardo coaching staff. So it's just on the offense at this point. They've done everything they needed to do in this drive but punch it in. And they are, I mean, a foot and a half away from doing it.
They'll in theory get 2 tries. 3rd and goal from just across the goal line. Weddle with Valencia next to him. out of the timeout. Weddle takes it himself. He's in. Touchdown, Rancho Bernardo. The Broncos go back in front. 16-13 with the extra point coming.
Oh, that has to feel good for Gage Weddle, waddling out of that with a touchdown under his belt. He said, who else was it going to be? Who else was going to put that ball into that Bronco blue end zone? And again, it's just simple. You're like, why are they drawing him out of the shotgun? Well, because it gives him enough space to get as much speed as he can to allow his momentum to get in there. And that's exactly what was executed.
The extra point is good. So 17-13, Rancho Bernardo with 4-point game, 7:34 to go.
We'll take another look at it. It looks like his father's walk. Now, his father didn't score many touchdowns playing on the defensive side, but the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
In college,
Jack.
I'm telling you. In college, they used him all over the place. It was crazy.
I'm not going to lie. That may have been before my time following college football. So I don't want to age Coach Weddle. I don't want to age you.
I understand. But
I can't relate to that reference.
This to me just looks so much like the Eric Weddle at Utah. Obviously, the Eric Weddle that we knew in the NFL was a little more dedicated to a certain position,
right?
But and it was a Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion, and one of the greats. But I'm telling you, like the way that the similarities between Gage at this level, at the high school level, and Eric at the college level are really impressive. I mean, that play right there, the direct snap, which is in this case the quarterback, he ran both plays at Utah. Short kick, and the knee was down at the 30-yard line, about the 27. So that's where Torrey Pines will take over here. Down now by 4 for the Falcons.
Falcons haven't played from behind yet this season. So first time here in 2025 that Torrey Pines has to claw their way back from behind.
They went out to the 10-0 lead. Back on top 13-10, but now trailing 17-13 for that first time. Blake Miller and the Falcons. It'll be Roca in the backfield. 3 wide for Torrey Pines on first down and 10 from their own 27-yard line. 7:31 to go in the game. Now a 4-point contest. Miller draws him back and goes off the helmet of an offensive lineman and incomplete. Cord Keeler got hit with the ball on the head. Now a penalty flag comes in. They're trying to backpedal and set up the screen. And we might get a hit on the quarterback. Drew Coates, the junior, was in there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 33 of the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Coates gives Torrey Pines 15 yards.
Yeah, that's a big call, and you can see him coming right through the line, get into Miller. Yeah, and he extended the arms. There was no reason to do that. You already disrupted the play. The ball was gone.
So that's a little bit extra toward the end.
You're also right in front of the official.
Now, Miller having to step up. Take it himself. He's out of bounds at midfield. And that's going to be an 8-yard gain on the scramble for Blake Miller.
Good scramble by Miller. I'm a little surprised that the left side of the line here for Torrey Pines didn't get called for a hold. You'll see it here. Look at the right side of the line. Right there. That, to me, looks like a hold.
Yeah.
But no flag was thrown, and turns into a nice little gain here by the quarterback.
They actually marked him out shy of midfield at the 48-yard line, so it's going to be a 2nd and 4 for Torrey Pines.
By the way, that on the offensive line, that's Barrett Ellert's on the left side. 6'3", 245-pound sophomore.
Handoff, Roca across midfield, diving for that first down. We'll see where they spot the football. But at the 48-yard line, going to be close. Ooh, it's going to be 3rd and inches.
That to me looks like a first down.
Now they move it. All right.
They also stopped the clock. So.
Yeah.
Oh, good split of the gap right there, evading a pair of hands. And it's all about continuing to move those legs no matter what point of contact you're feeling. Just keep on churning, keep on pulling, stay physical, stay low to the ground, make sure your center of gravity is short and balanced. And it allows you to get those extra couple of inches, maybe a foot that you need for the first down.
First down and 10 from the 48-yard line, 6:39 to play in the game. Miller, quick toss. Pass complete out toward the 40 to Logan. That one hauled in actually by Camden Nishnik, the tight end, to get it down to the 41. The junior had 2 touchdowns against San Pasquale last week. Picks up the catch here to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, again, when you're running out of the strong eye, or just out of the eye, I should say, they know that they're probably throwing out of this formation. Though right now, I think you're probably running it on 2nd and 3.
2nd down, 3 to go out of the eye. Miller hit as he throws to the far side, incomplete.
I guess they're not running it. Defense was ready, though, for the run. They had man coverage on the far side, but the blitz came on too quick, and there's just no time for Miller to even try and tee up what would have already been a difficult throw with coverage. And a good job in coverage on that far side was Rancho Bernardo's Brady Savage. Savage did not give up an inch and force what was already a tough pass to be even more.
5:57 left to go. Well, the 41-yard line, 3rd and 3. Miller, shotgun this time. And off Roca. Oh, and he's going to be shy. Stopped at the 39-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 1 for Torrey Pines. Now, an interesting spot on the field for this 4th down decision.
I mean, you're going for it. There's no question about it. I know that you have an amazing kicker who ripped off a 49-yard field goal, but a field goal here keeps you down with only 5:30 and counting and only 2 timeouts. So you're going to play, you got to play the win, and going for it right now on 4th and 1 this late in the game is playing to win. And if you're going to play the win, you got to make sure you're doing it right, which is why you use the timeout.
Second timeout for Torrey Pines. So they have 1 left for these final 5 minutes and 26 seconds of our contest. You can partner here with TVX Sports Video, be parts of these high school football broadcasts across Southern California. The San Diego section game of the week. Last week we were at Lincoln High, the number 1 team in the section. Next week, Grand Hills and Mission Hills up in the North County. Helix, Cathedral, Oceanside, Mount Miguel on the schedule. Contact TVX Sports, be parts of these community broadcasts, the San Diego section.
Let's see. Next week we're going to see a top quarterback matchup in the state of California and maybe the nation. In 2 weeks we're going to have some of the best linebackers and defensive ends and 2 very good quarterbacks. And in 3 weeks we're going to have the best linebackers and one of the best quarterbacks. So I feel pretty good about this slate, Jack.
On 4th down, they end up carrying it, and they will convert. Torrey Pines. There's 5:21 left to go.
Continuing to play physical. That's the Code Ashby way, and they trust this great quarterback in Blake Miller to execute. And he looks poised.
Yep.
I mean, he looks like he could play at the next level.
Got an arm.
He has an arm. He looks confident. The way he composes himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks and acts like a college quarterback.
First down and 10 from the 37-yard line. Less than 5 minutes to go. Miller waiting. Going deep down the field, but trying to haul in with one hand, incomplete. The coverage of the play for Silas Christensen.
I have been so impressed with Silas Christensen on the defensive side here. I mean, he had a couple of pass breakups. He had an almost pick. He's been fantastic. I mean, look at this coverage. That's how you defend, right? we saw pass interference on the previous drive when Rancho Bernardo was coming. You got to make a play on the ball no matter what. He knew he could keep his arm on that shoulder as long as he was turning and looking at the ball. That is the perfect way to play defense, and it comes into effect there on 1st and 10.
4:46 to go. Clock stops on the incomplete pass. 4-point game.
I will say I'm a little surprised that Torrey Pines took a shot at the end zone this early. There's still 4:46 to go. You go up. There's still plenty of time at 2 timeouts for RB to milk the clock and get a score. So, interesting decision.
Play action. Miller throwing. Pass complete. It's Banu who makes the catch.
Valencia didn't think so.
But it will be at the 33-yard line, so it's a gain of 4. 3rd and 6 on the way.
Yeah, Gavin Valencia was trying to make the appeal that ball was down, but Banu was able to jump on top of it.
No, that's a good catch.
Perfect. Valencia did get a hand in there. I think he was trying to sell that maybe he was able to knock it down. But nonetheless, it's a 3rd down here for Torrey Pines. I know they got it on 4th and 1. But if you're Rancho Bernardo, I mean, this has been a defense that has stood strong all evening long. They've forced Torrey Pines into compromising offensive situations. They've exposed weaknesses. Now's your time to bring all of that in and try and get a stop here on 3rd down.
3rd down and 5 from the 32-yard line. Less than 4 to play in a 4-point game. Miller, shotgun with Roca in the backfield. Hands off to him. Roca stopped for a loss. Pushed backward. It's Drew Coates and Lucas Winkler who make the stop.
Well, that UC Davis Aggie and a defensive captain coming big. I mean, look at Weddle, by the way, making the hit, bouncing off. He was the first to wrap up. And a couple of Torrey Pines, rather Rancho Bernardo Broncos joining him, including that great defensive lineman heading to the next level. But there is an injured Falcon on the field down here between the 35 and the 40.
Gage Weddle coming up to make the stop from the safety position, getting that first hit.
That's why they call him an athlete, and good to see here that Cord Keeler, the junior lineman, standing at 6'1", 280 is okay. There's another lineman down for Torrey Pines as well. That's Barrett Eilertz, the sophomore. He looked like he was cramping up a little bit the way they were working on his leg. People underestimate how humid these nights are, Jack. You got to stay hydrated.
Yeah, especially this time of year in San Diego. Very, very humid with thunderstorms. Highs were in the 80s, even down by the water. So you're really, this is
tropical climates.
Yeah, this is the monsoon period.
4th and 6.
Well, we'll see on 4th and 6 if Torrey Pines' offense can release some monsoon on Broncos defense, because there's plenty of time in this game, but Torrey Pines only has 2 timeouts left.
It's going to be
I was checked that they only have 1 timeout left.
1 timeout. 4th down and 6 for the Falcons, and now a timeout for Rancho Bernardo. They'll take their 2nd timeout.
Wow. I mean, again, it's a big moment for both teams. If you're Rancho Bernardo, you're looking at that clock with 3:28. You're looking across the field at the other team. They have 1 timeout, and you're looking up at the scoreboard, and you're winning. Your defense gets the stop here. You're feeling pretty good. You're not by no means are you out of the woods, but you're feeling confident. You're feeling pretty good. And if you're Torrey Pines on the other side, you've executed 4th downs all evening long pretty well, have not turned over on downs yet. And so on 4th and 6, the most pivotal play of the evening for the Falcons offensively upcoming is whatever the call is, it has to be executed perfectly, and you need to make sure you get the 6.5 yards you need to get that 1st down.
This is a long try here for Torrey Pines on 4th down. The big stop coming from Gage Weddle on the previous play. Both sides with 1 timeout. 4th down and 6 from the 33-yard line. Miller rolling to his right. Throwing passes incomplete. Brady Savage at the coverage. Logan Banu was the target, incomplete. The Broncos take over on downs.
Oh, lockdown Broncos on defense. I mean, Miller knew that he wasn't going to have a lot of time, so he rolls out right. They threw an extra guy down to try and give him an extra option on offense, but it didn't matter because Banu was always going to be the guy, and good coverage, high pass, no go on that 4th down, Jack.
And how about Gage Weddle, who scored the last touchdown for Rancho Bernardo and then comes up with the big hit on a critical 3rd down late in the game with 3 minutes to play.
There's a reason that he is the #1 ATH in the nation for the class of 2028. And he says, I like to be categorized as an athlete, not as a defensive back, not as a safety, not as a quarterback. It's because he can play at all 3 levels of the defense. He can play at both levels of the offense, and he makes big plays on both sides of the ball.
1st down and 10 from the 33-yard line. Both sides just the one timeout. Here's Marshall coming out of the backfield, and Marshall will be pushed back to the 25. It's a loss of 8 on the play. So the clock is moving for Rancho Bernardo.
And that's the plan. You don't want anybody to get injured right now. You want to keep that clock rolling. The problem is that play went backwards. I mean, if you keep milking this clock, you can probably get it down to the 145 mark, even if you don't get a 1st down. 2 first downs, Jack, and this game's over. But right now, if you're Torrey Pines, you're looking right now with the spot on the ball and it being 2nd and 13, an unfavorable field position for the offense, and you're thinking, okay, we can get 2 more stops. We can force the punt here.
They gave him forward progress to the 30, so he's only lost to 3. 2:34. Weddle will keep it himself. Gage Weddle out to the 35-yard line, so that's 5. 3rd and 8 on the way. Clock still moving. It'll go under 2 minutes by the time they snap this ball now.
I mean, a 1st down here forces Torrey Pines, into a very difficult situation. You have to find a way to convert. And Gage Weddle is obviously the key here. If I'm the defense, I'm having somebody spy him. You do not want him to beat you. Make somebody else beat you. Make Hugo Gonzalez beat you. Make Christian Gonzalez beat you. Do not let Gage Weddle be the one to beat you.
And they're going to call timeout. So the play clock winding down. They'll call timeout with 1:40 remaining here in the game. Final timeout for Rancho Bernardo. And a 4-point lead for the Broncos at 17-13.
I mean, we have seen some incredible heroics from the quarterback this evening for Rancho Bernardo, and Gage Weddle can pull one more trick out of that hat. He can turn water into wine one more time, then he can get this team into victory formation. Here's a look at that first evasion play when, I don't even know how you move that fast and laterally for a moment, or horizontally for a moment. And then here's the second one. I mean, this one was just absurd. Oh.
Just keeping plays alive and doing it with no panic and great footwork. 3rd down and 8. Weddle rolling away, he'll throw, and it's going to be complete! Down to the 48-yard line! Brody Sella with the catch, and a 1st down for Rancho Bernardo to try and put the game away.
Wow. I mean, Brody Sella's name has been called on defense most of the time here tonight, but Gage Weddle pinpoints that ball, and Sella says, you know what? I'm going to get this 1st down. With a guy riding his shoulder, he's able to make that grab, and God, that's got to feel good between a coach and his wide receiver.
17-13. Rancho Bernardo now to put this game away. Weddle. Taking a knee.
I think Torrey Pines is going to let this thing run out, Jack.
One more opportunity. And that's going to do it for tonight.
Wow. A 17-3 run.
That's right, 17-3
for RB.
After being down 10-0.
I mean, it felt like Torrey Pines, when they were up 10-0, was in complete control of this game. They were playing physical. They were playing quick. They were winning the trench war. They were winning the wide receiver defensive back battle. And somehow Gage Weddle and his cast of wide receivers and a stout defense that played bend but did not break is able to steal a victory here and go 3-0 for the first time in the Eric Weddle era at Rancho Bernardo.
That's the final, 17-13. Rancho Bernardo with the win, 17-3. After going behind early, they come back and win it. Gage Weddle with a touchdown pass, a touchdown run, and a stop on third down on defense helps seal the victory. We are back to wrap things up from Rancho Bernardo tonight. The Broncos win it by 4 in the CIF San Diego section game of the week. Brought to you by TVX Sports Video.
San Diego High School football is going live. Starting Friday, August 29th, the San Diego section will be partnering with TVX Sports Video to broadcast one high school matchup every week for free on YouTube, YurView San Diego, and Cox Cable.
Friday, September 12th. Granite Hills travels to face Mission Hills on the San Diego section game of the week. Watch live on YouTube at TVX Sports Video, Cox Channel 4, and YurView, California.
17-13 is the final. Rancho Bernardo wins it at home. They go to 3-0 now on the season as the Broncos come back, get the victory, and remain perfect on the year. Jack Cronin, Jonathan Rifkin back with you from Rancho Bernardo tonight, where the hometown team wins it by 4 and does so in comeback fashion. 17-13, they were down 10-0 early on.
It was a tale of two completely different halves for Rancho Bernardo. They were -3 in the turnover battle. I mean, you had a turnover on downs, you have the fumble on the kick return, and you have the interception thrown by the man of the game in Gage Weddle. If you ever want to make up for an interception, just kids watch the tape of Gage Weddle here tonight and you'll be excused.
He had a touchdown pass, he had a touchdown run, and he had a big-time tackle late in this game that helped seal the victory for Rancho Bernardo. Gage Weddle is going to be our player of the game.
I mean, how can you not award him the player of the game here in our game of the week? He has spurt ability, his ability to evade the defenses and spin and twirl and pirouette his way to the ground. And, of course, his ability to throw the football as well under danger, giving fits to defenses everywhere. I mean, how did you get this one off? I don't know, Jack.
Yeah, that was the most impressive part of his game, was the just ability to see the field, eyes downfield, great footwork, keep on his feet, avoid tackles, and then make a big-time play.
Big-time guys make big-time plays, and when you're surrounded by guys like Hugo Gonzalez and Christian Gonzalez and Brody Sella, who was the celebrator of the game there at the end of Secure It, it's a recipe to win. And Gage Weddle knows how to be a leader of this offense amongst guys who all want to compete at the best level here in San Diego. And tonight they proved that they can hang with some of the best.
Broncos now are 3-0 on the season. And there was a big-time stop to end the drive for Weddle on the defensive side after so much on the offensive side. So we will see you next week for Granite Hills and Mission Hills for our San Diego section game of the week. It moves to a big-time battle with huge programs in our Division I. That'll be the September 12th Friday night contest for you here. Thanks to our entire crew on site in Rancho Bernardo tonight. For Jonathan Rifkin, I'm Jack Cronin. 17-13 is the final in favor of Rancho Bernardo. The Broncos are 3-0. Our CIF San Diego section game of the week brought to you by TVX Sports Video.
We're all about the NFL this week on Sports Stars of Tomorrow. With Week 1 fast approaching, we'll be previewing the season in our own way by looking back at the prep days of some top players we met right here on the show. We'll talk about Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, the Bosa brothers, and more. And later in the show, we'll talk about a few rookies to watch. That's all coming up next on Sports Stars of Tomorrow.